Welcome to the Dayton Conservation Monthly Meeting. It's opening at 7 p.m. at the Old Town Hall at 1111 Somerset Avenue. This meeting is video and audio recorded for cable broadcast and internet posting on www.dayton-mass.gov and YouTube. Would everyone stand, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First on the agenda is to approve our minutes for March 16, 2023. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to accept the meeting from, minutes from 3/16/23.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. They passed.
Members, I just wanted to let you know Mr. Phillips is not here tonight because he lost his father yesterday.
Okay, we have a hearing continued. It's by DI Trust, comprehensive subdivision set to construct 135 single-family homes and 13,137 linear feet of associated roadway off of Forest Street. DI Trust has requested a continuance to our May 18th meeting. Is there a motion to continue?
I make a motion, we continue with DI Trust till 5/18/23.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor? Passed. Next on the agenda is Reed Brother Farms Limited Liability Partnership, DEP file number SE 17-447. Outback Engineering has requested a continuance to our May 18 meeting.
I make a motion, we continue Reed Brothers till 5/18/23.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have, our next item on the agenda is an abbreviated notice of resource area delineation known as an NRAD by Leopold Speck, 1130 Bridge Street, map 8, lot 6-2. Resources include but are not limited to the BVW 100-foot inner riparian and 200-foot outer riparian zones and mean annual high water of the Segregansett River. File number 17-465. And you are?
I'm Matt Tavares with Holmgren Engineering.
Again, please?
Matt Tavares with Holmgren Engineering. How are you?
Do you want to go down the list of, I know Jonathan is here as well? Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're good. Alyssa, right? Elise is here from Beta. And,
Okay.
I didn't know if you both want to present together because you reviewed it together or?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, that's fine with me. I haven't talked to you yet, but we'll see what we can do. Yeah.
So Beta is our review consultant for this project. The delineation was of a, let's see, 37.7 acre site. So Beta reviewed it and they're gonna present their findings.
Do you want to go first? Or you
Sure.
want- Okay. Yeah. Go for it. Go for
All
it.
right, so Elise Tripp from Beta Group. I had done part of the initial ANRAD review with the first letter, and so I'm kind of here in place of John. So basically, there was a site visit on February 8th, and that was with the ECR to kind of go over all the wetland resource areas. And so a revised plan was provided, and basically from that revised plan, Beta had a couple of comments. Namely, there was kind of two bigger ones. It was clarification as to whether flags A40, A61, and A71 were relocated in the field and shown on the plan. And Beta does recommend a confirmation of all the other flagged resource areas as identified in the report. And then we had a second recommendation that a revised plan be submitted with the locations of only the superseded flags on it, just to prevent confusion. Otherwise, Beta's comments was primarily related to recommended conditions for the ORAD.
Okay, we have an updated map that shows everything that has been approved and accepted by the two of you.
Yeah, yes. So,
Okay, is that this map right here?
yeah, so on that new plan, basically what it was originally I had shown, you know, the old location of the flags and the new location of the flags. The old ones were faded off. We have turned those off now, so it's more clear as to what the flags or where the flags actually are now. And for as those areas that were asked to be updated, we've updated all the areas. We've actually even added a couple flags that during the site visit they've added. There's I think it's like a B. I have it written down here. Yeah, there's a new flag in the C series and then a new flag in the B series or the A series as well. That were additional flags that they decided to add. So we've now have those clarified on the plan as well.
Okay, very good. Lisa, we're all set. I know you're all set.
Yeah, and the FEMA flood map, that was added, right?
Correct, yep.
Okay, yep.
Okay. I'd like to hear a motion then to accept the revised mapping of this NRAD as designed and shown on, let's see, the date here is,
Revised date is 4/11.
okay, 4/11/23. Okay, here it is. Is there a motion to accept the revised plan and new wetland delineations?
I'll make a motion that we accept the ANRAD for Briggs Street with the new details on, what was it, April? What's the date, Jim?
11,
April
4/11. Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Okay.
Hey, good to go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have an NRAD application by Dean Smith of New Leaf Dayton Energy Storage LLC for Zero Maynard Lane, map 1, lots 82 and 82-7 and 96, DEP file number 17-476.
They requested a continuance.
Okay, do you have that, you have that in writing then?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a motion to continue this hearing? So moved. Is there a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have another NRAD application by RJR Properties for 0 Horton Street, map 7, lots 36 and 36-1, DEP file number 17-475. Lisa, am I correct in saying that they have requested also a continuance?
Yeah, we're waiting. We had our peer review and we're waiting for a response, so.
Okay. Motion to,
I make a motion, we continue RJR Properties on Horton Street till 5/18/23.
is there a second?
It is map 7, lot 36. No, it's not yours, no. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we have another hearing, Brook Street Solar, requests for an amended order of level design on behalf of GHTJA 03 LLC, Grasshopper Energy, and the owner, the Manuel and Louise Andrews Trust, file number 17-404. The request includes expansion of work to include site plan modification to expand the approved limit of clearing, a new 14-foot wide gravel driveway extension, and 15-foot RCP drainage culvert. Additional work includes additional tree trimming within the 100-foot wetland buffer zone.
Jim, I gotta recuse myself from this one.
Okay, so okay. Is there anyone here representing Brook Street?
Yeah. sorry.
Okay.
Adam Hunt with Level Design Group.
Do you have any other paper copies for them, or?
I only have one other single plan
Okay,
on
could
me.
you just put it down
Sure.
instead?
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, we'll save, Charlie, you taking these, hold on to those for Lisa. Okay, no, it's working through here. Okay,
My name is Adam Hunt with Level Design Group on behalf of Grasshopper Energy to talk about Brook Street Solar at 893 Brook Street. The project is a modification to an approved notice of intent. Excuse me. It consists of two parts. The first part is this 14-foot gravel access to the adjacent parcel to provide access for clearing. There's a swale that it crosses over, so this will be a 15-inch culvert. And this is all required for clearing for fire safety by the planning board. Additional clearing will take place in the adjacent parcel. The remaining areas will be loamed and seeded. And as I said, it's for clearing. This will all be cleared to stumps of 2 feet, give or take, and line vegetation cleared. The second part of the application is tree clearing on the south side. We've asked the client developer to mark the trees. They still have not yet marked them as of yet. But we'd be, if the commission would be amenable to approving it based on the note on the plan, we appreciate that.
okay, so you are asking us for those two, for a new clearing area, for a new 14-foot wide gravel driveway extension, and then the drainage culvert. Okay, you have, now, are your solar panels in now? A lot of them?
Yes.
And has everything been done according to the existing order of conditions? And I'm talking about grading and vegetation replacement and all that.
Well, as far as we're still working with the developer to try and clear some of the issues, especially the stormwater basins.
Okay, so you still have to do stormwater approval?
Yes.
Well, they have
But this-
stormwater approval, but, they're working with stormwater because, and I'm not gonna speak on behalf of stormwater, but I am a member, because there are some questions as to whether or not the basins were built as designed. So right now, there is a consultant that's reviewing that, in the process of reviewing that. But the site is not stable yet, which is my main concern, that if we clear more land and this site still isn't stable.
So, without this other work that should have been done already, you're requesting more work, which will even require more stabilization, more changes to the area.
Yes. It is a separate application, and as I said, we'll continue to work with them to make sure that they follow.
But this is something that should have already been done. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
It would appear as though this should be continued to see what the other departments, and especially the stormwater, and what they're going to approve before we approve anything new, and to have your company do what it was already supposed to have done before we open up new areas.
Well, it's his client, yeah.
I took it to mean that. Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions here?
Yeah, I do. You say tree trimming. Is that just trimming, or are you gonna cut trees down?
Cut trees down to 2-foot stumps.
That's on this next property.
It's right over here. So my concern about that note that they added, I know we attended a site visit.
I did a site visit with Lisa. Okay.
Those specific trees were not marked in the fields, and I don't wanna give open-ended permission to stump any trees in that area without knowing how many, and I expressed my concerns to the owner months ago. So how many, exactly which ones, and right now the gate was locked, we couldn't even walk in there, but we could not see any markings on those trees.
Tree trimming and tree cutting does mean two different things. I personally am not in favor of giving such approval at this time until we see previous work done satisfactorily. I'm going to open it back up to you guys, if you have any questions.
No, as you said, I did a site visit with Lisa at this location, and, you know, as has already been stated, the trees weren't marked, the site's not yet stabilized. And,
So we're gonna need more information, whether it's the marking of the trees, the work that was previously set to be accomplished, and to see where stormwater and anyone else, where they fit into this, and how it's all gonna come together.
If the tree clearing is holding it up, we would be also willing to skip that part for now for this application and just do the gravel access and clearing.
Okay, I would like to continue this and see what progress you make towards getting everything else resolved.
Okay.
It's prime season to stabilize the site. I mean, right now is the time to grass it, so if they're gonna plant grass, otherwise we're gonna be waiting until the fall or whenever.
Lisa,
Yeah,
if they mark the trees that they want to or remove, and you review it and approve it, will we allow them to cut the trees?
well, I don't know how many. I mean, is it 2? Is it 12? Is it 20?
And then they haven't stabilized either.
The site's
Charlie.
not stabilized either. So to allow for more clearing, well, further exacerbate the problem as far as the stormwater basins is my concern. The stormwater basins are already handling a lot of runoff, and
Are they being silted?
yes, they've been silted and the
Yeah, we gotta
maintenance-
prevent that,
So the reason, those basins are acting as holding areas right now because the site isn't stabilized. Once the site is stabilized, they can finalize the basins. So, I mean, they've had the panels up now for how long? It's been over a year, yeah.
someone's dragging their feet there from doing it appropriately.
Mr. Chairman, I believe we've got a question in the audience as well, sir.
Okay, are we off? Anybody here have any questions? Charlie, you have any
Make
questions?
sure we know what trees he's gonna cut.
Okay, ma'am, state your name, please.
Maureen Beausoleil, 1680 Pine Street, we're in a butter to the solar field. When we got the letter strictly states tree trimming, and that's all the abutters think it's tree trimming. And for shading purposes. And they show an aerial of the shade on some of the panels.
Well,
So that letter is not really truthful to all the abutters that got that letter, because they want to cut the trees. They don't want to just trim the trees.
That's why I asked.
That's right.
Thank you.
So the letter to the abutters is not a true letter.
Right, so what we would need is, we would need a new notification. We need the site stable, we need the trees marked in the field, and then we need a new request that is specific to exactly what you're requesting. So I agree, trimming versus cutting is completely different.
okay, so we're gonna await upon your revised format that you're gonna make, not only to the neighbors, but to us as well.
Okay.
Is there a motion to continue?
A new notification.
Is there anyone else out there with questions?
Alan Beausoleil, 1680 Pine Street. On that southern end of that solar field, how deep can you cut those trees? Towards Buck Plain Road.
On the southern end, I'm not sure because they haven't marked anything. Those are the ones that are trimmed. The other ones are the ones that are being cleared.
The ones that are being cleared.
I don't know about the notification letter, but I think it must have omitted the other section and only talked about the trimming.
Because since that field went in, I also like winter. I barely can sit outside. Definitely don't let it start a fire.
So are there some from?
No, there's nothing here, there's no grass.
And according to the picture of the shading, it certainly didn't look like you had to cut down all those trees. That seems quite dramatic of what you might want to be doing.
I mean, when you put those panels in, you had to know that trees were there. Correct? You had to know they were there. And now you just take them down because they're shading. You removed 18 acres, 17 acres.
Have the number of solar panels been increased?
Not that I'm aware of. As far as I'm
Well, that's
aware.
something that we'll have you look into as well.
As far as I was informed that they
So-
were in over a year ago and that it's been the same.
Yeah, it's been the same. However, the area in front of where the trees are proposed to be cut is completely cleared, and there's no stabilization there either. There was supposed to be a seed mix.
Okay, so you know what we're looking for?
We need a new abutter notification. We need
Stabilization of what's there,
obviously stabilization.
approval of any other department that may be involved, mainly stormwater and anything that's gonna be running off, and a clear information on how many are gonna be cut, where they're gonna be cut, the works.
Okay.
Marked in the field, yeah.
Gotta mark them.
Yes.
Okay.
Clearly marked.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, do we have a motion to continue?
So moved.
Charlie? Second?
Yes, I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay.
Next meeting?
5:18.
Oh, 5:18, okay.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
Okay. We have a request for a determination of applicability by Massachusetts Electric for utility pole installation along William Street within the ROW. Work will continue, work will occur within jurisdictional resource areas.
Hello. For the record, my name is Peter Backus. I'm an environmental scientist with Ty and Bond here on behalf of the Massachusetts Electric Company, National Grid. Following that project last fall there with the pole replacement for the sidewalks, it was found that there's a recloser that needs to be replaced on pole 45 on William Street, which is 2 or 3 down from Cedar Street, just past where the project for the pole replacement ended. Basically, they need to replace the recloser, which is kind of like a circuit breaker that's smart enough to turn itself back on after, keeps parts of the town isolated when there's a power outage like that. With that, as a safety requirement, they have to put in a ground grid, which is a 6x6 grounded mat. It goes 6 inches to a foot underground. So they dig it out the hole, put that in, cover the ground back over with the spoils that they dug out, and they just need that there for a safety purpose. So the pole's existing. We are looking to do this as a minor activity, just for pole maintenance, and just to add in that grounding, which falls under that 310 CMR 1002 2B2H. So very simple project. It is within. It is about the end of the mat will be about 3 or 4 feet from the wetland, but it will be buried. It infiltrates and will restore everything to pre-existing conditions after.
Any questions?
Pretty straightforward. I recommend.
Audience, any questions?
Negative.
Okay, I'll accept a motion to,
Or, yeah, did you ask?
I'm sorry?
Does anyone have any questions?
I did.
Oh, sorry.
I did.
Okay, good.
I'll accept a motion to write an order of conditions.
No,
To
negative.
approve?
Negative determination.
Oh, and I'm sorry, a negative determination. Charlie, you made the motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion that we issue a determination of applicability for the work that Massachusetts Electric's plans to do along William Street.
Is there, all in favor? Okay,
Thank you.
you're set to go.
Awesome.
Right. So, yeah, I like silk sock better than, so just give me a couple weeks to get your determination. Do you want to pick it up, or do you want me to mail it?
We'll probably need it mailed.
Okay,
I'll let you know, because I know I'm not the one who submitted this, so I'll send you an email.
perfect. Thank you.
Okay, next we have a notice of intent application by Heather LaPerriere. And this is at 2410 Cedar Street, map 14, lot 1, for a proposed septic tank, leach field, and associated grading within the 100-foot of a bordering vegetated wetland, DEP file number 17-478. Lisa, is this a repair, or is this?
It's a repair, correct? Replacement or repair?
Repair.
Okay,
Well, replacement repair means
about this, okay, all right.
same thing, no?
Just so that everyone knows, this is a repair of an existing system. New systems are not permitted within the 100-foot buffer zone by both state and local laws.
Or within 200 feet of a river.
Okay.
Gentlemen, good evening. James Hall, Project Manager for Mount Hope Engineering. We were going to spend Brandon tonight. He's in another town. So so I will be representing our plan. We did flag these wetlands a few years back. There are a few houses, 4 houses, I believe, total that could go there. 2 were up. This is the 3rd for the Prairie family, because everybody's all in the same family so far. So, I'm sorry, we're not on that one. We're on the next one.
You're on one, no.
This is Heather.
We're actually, yeah, we're on
2410
Cedar. I'm
Cedar.
sorry. I got 2 plans in front of me here. So, this particular one that the chairman has mentioned, we are within the 100-foot buffer zone. The perk tests we have done are actually as far away from the wetlands as we can get. Obviously, we're away from our well also, which is down to the south. So maintaining the well separation of 100 feet and pushing this thing to the north as far as we can, we've maintaining about 64 feet from the wetlands to the recirculating sand filter. This is an alternative technology we're using here. We generally will do things like this, A, for room, or B, for if we're going to end up with the hideous mound that everyone dislikes. So we've done over 1,000 of them at our company already, and people tend to like them because the leach field is much smaller. I don't know if you gentlemen have seen one yet in Dayton, but the bottomless sand filter is basically just a timber box, roughly 20 by 12. It's all clear water that goes there. Septic tank to a treatment tank, removes 90%, 90% of the nitrogen, and then you sort of have a leach field that should last forever because you don't have anything plugging it up. So we don't recommend it. We do not.
Is this the Sanyo box?
What's that?
Is this called the Sanyo, or it's a Japanese
Yes.
design? Okay.
The technology you can use for treatment, the DEP under the Title V wetlands laws and approvals, there's many different technologies. I'm going to guess there's at least 15 of them. This particular case, we're using the Fuji Clean system.
Fuji, okay.
Okay, and the reason for that is our research has shown, coming out of Long Island, where they got thousands of them, to show that this is the best performing and most cost effective. So we use Advantex also. We've used Amphidrome. We've used BioClear. We've used a lot of technologies over the years, and we have settled on this technology from an expense and performance standpoint. It requires maintenance twice a year. So
When you say that means pumping out?
no, it means that actually an operator would have to come to the site every 6 months to do, basically, if I could put it in simple terms, is almost like a pull filter. It needs backwashing, it needs cleaning, it may need pumping. You're basically pulling all your nitrogen out of the system and putting it in recycling, so you're not putting it into your leach field. And because of that, you get this small, tiny footprint. Rhode Island's almost exclusively doing this now in the whole state. Westport has adopted it, that they're not allowing septics anymore. This is coming, and the state, from what I'm hearing, in the next 5 years is going to be trying to eliminate all septics and make it all alternative. So
This is going to require a specialized truck to come in?
no, just an operator. An operator comes in, looks at the system, and then has to be obviously approved and certified. And they come in and they just look at the condition. They do some backwashing, some cleaning, and it's roughly about an hour to do this. If it needs pumping, they'd be advised. The pumping is actually small. It's not even 1,000 gallons. It's aeration. The system's aerated and recycled. So we generally would not use this. We still use septic mainly, except when we know that the yard is going to end up into a hideous-looking mounded system. Yeah, as everyone knows, there was no choice a few years back, and now there is choices. And I want to say about 30 or 40% are picking this over the hideous mound. So in this particular case, I could say, certainly from a wetland standpoint, when you discharge to the ground and you've eliminated most of the things that are in sewage from going into the groundwater table, that's probably a good thing for the wetlands.
And we have approved these before, most recently on Park Ave,
Yeah.
Taunton River.
You all set?
I'm all set.
The
Any,
only
question?
concern I have is I don't like the straw wattles anymore. We're leaning towards the compost filter sock.
Okay.
So if you guys could change that, and then we could just
Yeah,
take
if you
that
want to
plan.
put that in the order.
What do you wanna change?
Change the siltation controls from straw wattles, which are just those straw things you see, to the compost filter socks. Yeah, if you could just change the plan and then we'll
Okay.
just issue the order that way, yeah.
Any questions from the members? Any questions from the audience? Okay, let's have a vote to accept the repair of this septic system.
Make a motion, we accept the plan for Cedar Street with the condition to change the filtration on the site.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you're all set. Oh, you're still staying here, I guess.
I
Am I up
have
next?
21 days to issue, so just give me a little time to get it to you. Do you want to pick it up or do you want me to mail it?
You can mail it. It's fine.
Mail?
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I up next, Mr. Chairman? By any chance, I also have the Prairie job on. Please.
We have one before you, we just have to continue, so.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You can stay up there.
Here we have a notice of intent application by Robert J. Russell III of Old Horton Street, map 7, lot 36, for construction of a single-family house with septic system. A portion of the work is within the buffer zone to the wetland resources, DEP file number 17-481. The applicant, am I correct on this, Lisa, has requested a continuance?
Well, his representative analysis and design engineering, Mark Rodricks, has requested a continuance to May 18th, yeah.
Okay,
Make
a motion to,
Make a motion, we continue Old Horton Street to 5/18/23.
is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have a notice of intent application by Kevin Prairie, 2192 Maple Swamp Road, map 1, lot 4-1, for construction of a single-family 5-bedroom house with associated grading, septic system, and well within jurisdictional resources. A portion of the work is within the regulated 200 vernal pool buffer zone. DEP file number, do we have that file number? We're missing,
We're not gonna have a file number because it's not applicable to the Wetlands Protection Act, only the local bylaw,
okay,
because they're outside of BBW, sorry, the 100-foot buffer zone, but they are inside of the 200-foot vernal pool, correct?
That is correct.
okay.
Here's a plan. Do you have another copy, paper copy?
I do not. If someone wants the colored version, I probably could get by without it.
Before you even start, I have to tell you, I haven't been there because I was waiting for Missy to tell me whether the flags were present.
Oh, I thought you were there with Brandon. You have not. So let me, Brandon Fanouth has flagged it, and it's been a little bit, so maybe some of the flags might be down. So if I could, let me get the three of you, Missy, Brandon, and you together, okay?
Just wanted to let you know that, but you can certainly present.
Okay. James Hall, Mount Hope Engineering, representing Kevin Prairie on Maple Swamp Road. As Lisa just said, we had actually filed an NOI with the state, which is not applicable because this is only falling under your bylaw, which is the 200-foot vernal buffer with a vernal buffer no touch. So we do have a resource, we do have a BVW resource with the DEP, but we are not in that BVW. So we are basically looking for approval for a new home coming off Maple Swamp with a septic system with the hay bale filaments, obviously off the vernal pool no touch area. So really all the work is going to be to the east of all the resource areas. If this is easier to see, because it's marked up with our multiple resource areas there, that'd be easier to see it from the general.
Okay, all right, okay.
See, so this is on the 100-foot, which we would have filed with DEP. This is the 25-foot. This this is your 200, so we're only doing work in this
Okay, that's,
75-foot area here, and the lot obviously was gonna be more, the development of the lot will be in this area. Mr. Prairie owns here, his son is actually here, so.
okay, and
So
so,
we're just looking for, Lisa, how would you want to?
well-
Because the order of conditions relative to the state.
So we can just do some local ones, but right now, I mean, I really want to visit the site, but I want to make sure the flags are present, otherwise I'm just walking around.
On the way here, Missy did say that he rehung them, so why don't you,
Okay.
let's get together and let you two get out there.
Yeah.
So.
Even if I went by myself, it's fine, and I could let them know.
Okay, if you want to.
Yeah. Is anything staked out there, like the house?
Nothing, right? Nothing yet. Do you want some bearings when you're out there?
Yeah.
What would you want, the house, just the house corners?
House or the closest limit to the clearing? Yeah,
Okay.
clearing to
I mean, I
the,
would say also, we should, or we will be doing it anyways, we'll be staking out the outside edge of that vernal no touch, so they know when they're clearing. So why don't we just do that?
yeah, do you want to just let me
Right,
know
we'll
when
do the house
that's?
and that. John, is that agreeable?
Your office already did the 25-foot,
Say it again?
your office already did the flagging for that, silt fence. Where the silt fence is.
Tony's done it?
Yes.
Okay, so that's done.
so from the vernal
Silt
pool
fence is
then,
staked out, so, because Brandon has been out there already.
Oh, okay, sounds good.
so from the vernal pool, our bylaw states that the vernal pool is 100 feet from the high water mark, so the no-touch zone is 25 feet from that line.
Okay. Okay,
Okay, so that's 125 feet, no touch from the high water mark of the
high
vernal
water
pool.
mark, okay. And that's what we show, so we show 100 plus the 25 on the plan,
Okay,
okay?
okay, so we'll continue this until Lisa verifies all these flags
If
and.
anybody wants to come out and do a site visit, let me know.
Does anyone have any of you folks have a question up here? Any members? Bill? Anyone in the audience have a question? Okay, I'm looking for a vote. Yes?
I got a question. So we're just, going out to verify the flags that Brandon put out, and he checked, he put flags out this past week.
Oh, okay.
So, can the plan be approved subject to her checking what Brandon, we're not waiting anymore.
Well, I also want to verify that there's no other wetlands in vicinity, so,
Yeah, all the flags out, you'll have no problems.
okay.
Yeah, just so you know, Lisa, this was flagged, I'm gonna say 2019 maybe, or earlier. The whole site was already flagged
Okay.
and should be on record.
So are all the flags back out there, not,
Correct, so
okay.
Brandon did this, I can't remember the year. What year was that maybe? Was it 19, maybe 17? So this is all, the whole parcel has already been flagged, so it's
Yeah.
just a matter of, the ones that are dropped off maybe gotta
Yeah.
be rehung, that's it,
Okay,
okay?
sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll still get a continuance until you verify
Yeah.
the flags in place?
Okay,
May 18th is the next meeting.
Yeah,
If
May
I could
18th.
just get you to sign for continuance.
okay.
Okay, is there a motion to continue this hearing until the 18th of May?
Make a motion, we continue 2192 Maple Swamp Road.
Lucky you're at the beginning.
5/18/23.
You're lucky you're at the beginning. You're gonna be
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
She got it in early. Thank you. You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Okay, we have a new hearing, a notice of intent, application by Tony Rodricks at 0 Hot Street, map 19, lot 1, and map 20, lot 100, Hart Street, Lot 2, for construction of a single-family home and associated landscaping and grading within 100 feet of a bordering vegetated wetland, DEP file number 17-479. Is that 479? You got an extra 9 in here.
Yes.
Good
Yes.
evening. My name is Tom Morris with Zenith Consulting Engineers. So this is a new construction home with a septic. It was previously approved by the Board of Health because we had the wetlands flagged, and from our original design, we were outside the 100-foot. Excuse me. So we didn't come before conservation then, but it was brought to the attention that the wetland line might not be correct. When we heard about that, it was re-looked at, new line was put up. Niles from our office, Steve Schmiel and Lisa were out on site and confirmed the new line. So now we are within the 100-foot buffer with some of the work. The back left corner of the house and some grading in the yard. So now we're here to get that approved. The silt sock and the foundation are in. So work did begin before this new wetland line was caught.
How far is the house here from the, okay, I got it here.
81 feet from the house to the new line.
And the septic system is going to be outside the 100?
Yes, outside of 100.
Okay, the 25, has work been done in the 25-foot no-touch zone?
No,
No cutting, no nothing in that area?
because where we're showing the silt fence now is actually beyond where we had previously staked it out. So his limit of work was definitely outside of the 25. And it is an existing cleared area too. He didn't do any clearing.
Oh, correction, there was clearing.
There was clearing?
There
I
was,
thought,
there was street clearing
was it like a single, oh, was it along the road?
along the road in the stone wall, correct?
Yes, yeah, there were,
Not the stone wall on the side, huh? West side,
Not as close as the stone wall, but along the road.
along the road,
which should be outside of the 100 foot.
side down the foot.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah, do
the
you-
entirety of the house out toward the road is outside of the 100 foot.
Okay, but there was street clearing, I believe, within the 100 foot. Do you have, you don't have the tree line on this plan?
Okay,
Because there's individual trees that ran along that front stone wall that goes along the street. So we didn't have that located as a tree line. But I do know the trees you're talking about, I believe.
I have a near map aerial from the end of March. It shows
you have
a
it
little
there?
more
Yeah.
vegetation.
Is it, this vegetation, was it, okay, it was within the buffer zone, but was it greater than 50 feet, let's say, from the wetlands?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's outside the 50-foot zone. Okay, take a look
I
at that.
have concerns about the project starting before conservation could review it. So, you know, the foundation was in place before we got the filing.
Right, yeah, we understand, that's a,
That, you know, that's what concerned us more than anything, because where do we go from there if the wetland was changed much more than what it actually did?
right, if it was to the point of being inside like a no-touch, then obviously the foundation would have to come out, have to be
Well, you know,
restored, but,
this is what we're trying to prevent.
Right.
You know, and Tony, I mean, you have to understand too, that we're not out to get you or anyone else, that that we like to see it come in order, and we can understand what happened, but yet it goes through verification of wetland flag lines first, so that something that goes in doesn't have to come out, that it's done in accordance the first time. And, you know, it seems like everything is going to be working out.
I mean, my other concern is that with this lot, we could have stayed out of the buffer zone altogether if these lots were created, basically if the wetlands were delineated properly from the start, then I think we could have kept the whole lot outside.
Correct, and that's what we thought we were doing.
Yeah. So,
Okay, okay, now, you know, Lisa, I know we talked about shrub planting and that.
yeah, Tony, would you be willing to do any shrub planting along the back, along the side to mitigate for the trees that you removed, or tree planting?
The only trees I removed was in the front. Never cut any trees any other place. And I left two right in the corner of that wall. I mean, they're big, they're still there today.
Could I see the aerial
The only
that
tree
year?
I took out was outside the 100-foot buffer zone.
Maybe we could do some sort of restoration of some sort. Oh, that's not your area, I'm sorry.
No.
Here's
Yeah,
what,
that's
34
that.
hard.
Okay, so yeah, here, if you kind of
okay,
look at it in relation to our plan here. Oh, sorry. So you can see right here is this stone wall
Yeah.
that goes up.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, and you can see that the trees are existing up to the halfway point of the house, and the 100-foot buffer is over here. So the 100-foot, this is the stone wall, so the
Right,
100-foot
and this-
buffer is
and
right about
everything
here.
within the siltation controls has been cleared.
Right, but like I said, this line is actually further back than, I mean, you can see his line kind of comes up and it looks like it curves in.
Okay.
So this is, what's shown on the plan here is slightly different. So it looks like what he cleared, I mean, it's, just from the scale, it's about the width of the garage off this side of the house. So it's just about what we proposed before, which is outside of the 50 at least. Inside the 100, but outside the 50.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it would be good to have some mitigation for that preemptive, you know, we didn't give an enforcement order. Right, we could have given an enforcement order to stop the whole thing. We understood that you were getting it redelineated and you filed really quickly.
Yeah, once we figured,
Right.
we want to do the right thing. It was just we just missed it.
okay.
So what's the problem?
No, I was just thinking we should require some mitigation for the work that was done before any filing.
Lisa,
There's
Can you
also some,
prove that
there's some neighbors
do
in
we
the
have
audience.
proof that he cut before?
He cut before, he put the foundation and he put the grading in before he had permits from us, yes. The septic system is in place right now.
We're nitpicking,
Can I tell you what happened here? Can I tell you exactly what happened?
surrounded by trees. It's a forest.
There's also some abutters in the audience that might have some questions, but,
Well, let Tony speak first, then I'll ask for rebutters.
What happened here was, I purchased a piece of land adjacent to the original piece of land. Lisa flagged the first piece of land, okay? Not up to where I built the house. When I purchased the second piece of land adjacent to me on the west side, Brandon Fan from Eco,
systems.
Systems there, he had flagged that twice before I bought it. So when I found out that he had flagged it, I went to him because he's done work for me also. And I asked him to reflag it because a lot of the flags were down and everything, and he said, yeah, no problem. I says, how far back do you want me to go? He says, I've done the whole thing. I says, all you gotta do is go back, I said, 175, 200 feet, be plenty. On the second piece of property that I bought. Alright, so Brandon went in there and flagged it. Flagged it right up to the wall that I own. Alright? She was about 80 feet, 80 yards away from where Brandon left off. Now, it was my instruction to my engineers, right, that I don't think we have to go any further because Brandon's flag line was well beyond the 100-foot buffer where I was gonna put the house. When it was brought to our attention, when you guys came out, that I may be in the buffer zone, and you said I might have to slide the septic system over. So I said, I'm gonna look into this. So I got a second opinion from another person by the name of Steve Schmiel, another wetland scientist, okay? He came in and he verified Brandon's line, and he gave me a new line on the east side of the wall, down to where she left off. The line came up higher on the east side of the wall than the west side of the wall. And he told me, he says, this happens a lot in farm areas where walls are put in and cot paths are put in. It stops the water from flowing, which makes sense. The cot path on the other side, on the west side of the wall is higher than the field side. That's what made the wetland line came up higher. But I was the guy right here that hired these guys, and I told them what I wanted done. I mean, it was nobody's fault but me. If you want to blame anybody, you blame me. But when I cut those trees, I did not cut any trees inside the 100-foot buffer.
Inside the current one as it's flagged right now.
Right.
Okay, all right.
From,
Okay,
You wanna come out and-
but the line did
You
change
should.
from the original one. You both said that.
Yes.
So, but right now, we're all in agreement as to where the line is. Right
Yep.
now, we're all in agreement, and that's what we have on this map here. So using this map, and I think very fortunately, and I say that on your behalf, fortunately, that the foundation is enough way outside that, but still, it has led to difficulties by the original line being mismarked.
It wasn't mismarked.
Well, you said there's
It wasn't complete.
There's that depression,
It wasn't completed. Wait
It
a
wasn't
minute.
complete.
The east side wasn't complete.
incomplete, okay,
The west side was, and it was verified that that line is correct
okay,
by
all
two
right,
wetland scientists now.
okay, but there is that other side, of the east side, where there's a depression and, yeah, okay. So right now, we are all on line with wetlands and where they stand. The house is gonna be 81 feet from the wetland line. The septic system is outside of the 100. If there were a couple of trees, taken, well, maybe Tony in his good, nature can put a couple trees in to replace whatever,
I planted 20 trees this week on that property. 20 of them, you can come out and view them.
Okay.
On the rear of the property, they look very nice to me. If you wanna come out and look at them, you might get them.
Wow. Sounds good. What kind of trees, Tony?
Apple vine.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Deer food.
Yep.
Okay,
Green giants.
are there any questions or comments from the audience? Yes, ma'am.
Andrea LaChance, Park Street. I think I heard there's the second lot. Is that also gonna be this one as well?
this is lot two.
Actually, there's a third lot, from what I understand. There may be a third lot coming, according to the engine,
Well,
according to the site.
There's the man to ask, not us.
Even outside, well outside of the 100-foot buffer, the entire lot.
So
The third lot.
lot is outside of the buffer?
Yes, completely outside of it, even with the new line.
Okay, so what side of the current house is being built is that?
It's to the right of the current house that's being built.
The barn?
Yeah. That's where it would have to go.
Yes, sir.
Chris Whitmore, I live down the street from this development here. It's okay to dig a pool and then fill it in with monofil, you know, and you're talking about disturbing wetlands or whatever, you can bring all the fill and raise a house up 10 feet off the road. Doesn't that change the aspect of the way water flows and all that? You're talking about how a wall affects how water flows. How about 10 feet up off the road, now how's the water flowing off of that with the aspect of wetlands and the septic system?
I can speak to that. For this particular case, the entire site right now flows kind of northwest toward that wetland. The way the house is being graded, there's going to be a swale along the right-hand side that'll take anything that comes toward the road and bring it back behind the house toward the wetland. And the left side of the house and the rear of the house will continue to flow toward the wetland.
All towards my property.
Actually, I think it
It goes-
according to the topo, it flows, what'd you say, northwest or northeast? Northwest?
Yeah, toward the wetlands on the sheet.
This is the topo doesn't,
Yeah, USGS, that can be 10-foot contours.
yeah.
But we have the surveyed contours here. I've been out on site, I've done parks here. The entire site flows toward that wetland, which is north and west of all of the work.
Okay, this is not going to alter, though, the volume of water that is going to move, because, I mean,
Not
what goes
significantly.
downhill, you can't make more now, or let's say after the project is done versus prior to the project. Does that
It
make
doesn't
sense?
fall under any stormwater regulations because it's just a single-family house.
Okay, no, but what I'm saying is even mounding it,
Yeah.
it's not gonna generate more water as opposed to a parking lot, which is gonna
Right,
create.
mounding itself does not change runoff, but we are adding the driveway and the roof. That creates more runoff, but it's not significant and it's not jurisdictional to anything.
Okay, does that sort of answer your question? And then the water, as I see it here on this map, it is going into where it's supposed to be going, that is the wetlands.
in relation to this?
They own the land all to the west of the power lines.
So, but you already are
Must be
going up
significant
again.
west.
No,
Tony
right next
owns-
door.
Both hills come off the Hunter's Hill and
He's got it coming both ways, so.
So I have a lot of lowland and all the construction that's happened within the town. It's even going back to Estabrook when they put the work in up there. When I bought this property, I used to hunt, I still hunt. But I hunt all that land up, I used to hunt all the way up to the dam. All Frank and Rogers fields and all back there before it was all overrun and bought out. But the properties up there all the properties that have been put in have changed the aspect of water flow coming off of Elm Street, off of Hot Street. Solar panels come in, you clear a whole field for those, coming off of Main Street. All that development changes the aspect of water, as everybody knows and aware. You open up land, you're gonna change the flow of water, and it has happened. I sit at the bottom of the hill, of two hills, I'm sitting at the bottom, and I'm getting notices saying, people complain that I was clearing a piece of property for animals, to put some farm animals in there. I got a notice of desist to stop doing it, because somebody complained that I was interfering with wetlands. The property I'm clearing, at the time, on the GSL map of Dayton, in the 30 years I've lived there, at this house, has never been cleared as wetlands until now. So I got people involved, but the thing is, the only aggravation, I have nothing against Tony, I have nothing against him, anybody putting building houses, that's the way of progress, yes. But when they start coming down on me, telling me that I have to do something different because of what's going on with other people's property, it's not right. And I feel that the water that's coming from all the developments that have been created, all the accesses, the driveways, the roads, have made my property even wetter over the 30 years of time. That's my complaint. Again, I have nothing against Tony. I appreciate what he's doing. He's done a lot of stuff up there that I can't knock on. I know Manny Perry had the farm before that, and there's a lot of stuff that he was doing when he farmed the property that he couldn't get done because of the amount of wetland that was in there, he couldn't farm it. I know people that purchased the property next to mine before Tony had it, they had it surveyed and they couldn't build on it either, they got pushed out. It's just stuff like that that's happening, and I've seen it happen, and I just don't appreciate how's it going about, especially, I mean, this is a little bit different than what I heard. I heard that when this project was started and put in, it was a 4 main lot and all that, and at the meeting I came to, it was a 4 main lot, hey, it was approved as that. So then I guess, when the project's already started, and then I get a letter in the mail saying that, oh, now we're abutting wetlands, it changes the aspect. You know, we get a letter in the mail, a certified letter we're signing for, saying that, you know, we're abutting wetlands, but it's already it's already started, it's already been done. The foundation was in and it was never stopped. The house went right up after that. So it's just, you mean, again, I know it's there, I know Tony has done what he's done. I can't knock it for that, but I just don't appreciate what they're trying to put me through, stopping me to do what I want to do with my house, my property that I've been on for 30 years in this town. And I'm just putting a fence up for animals, clearing some land for animals. Here they are putting houses everywhere. I don't understand. That's my only complaint.
Okay, your driveway, and most of the house runoff is gonna go into the driveway and out to the street, which means it won't even affect the wetlands that this gentleman is dealing with. And the
It goes
number
off
of,
the street, then it's coming down the road, coming down the hill.
It
But
all
it-
eventually it does end up at the wetland.
I'm sorry?
Even the road goes to the wetland eventually.
Okay, but on which side? South side or north side?
Well, both sides.
Okay. Now, you have a dewatering basin. Why is that?
Just in case when there is excavation for the foundation or for the septic or anything that's going in, if it has to be pumped, it goes there so it doesn't create excess runoff and
Now,
erosion
you got that
toward
in the
wetland.
25-foot no-touch zone.
No, that's outside the 100. The kind of teal line is the 100-foot buffer.
Okay, well, well, I'm just looking at it here. You've got it,
This is the detail. This is where it's.
okay, all right.
Sorry, it's not boxed off, so it kind of does look.
Okay, all right. That's what really confused me. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. Why don't you take, and then pass it back and I'll go this way.
I've seen it.
That was what, in February?
That was last month.
This is this lot?
Yes.
The one we're dealing with.
Well, it's pretty well ponded in. It's not going anywhere. It's gonna go sink right into the ground.
Oh, no, it's not, it comes right down.
Yeah, that was all filled in, that was.
Okay, if that berm wasn't there,
On the back,
if,
I have copies.
if the berm wasn't there and it wasn't excavated whatsoever, where would that rainwater have gone before Mr. Rodricks did anything? Where would it have gone?
It would have probably stayed where it was, up there. Because the back of his land was all wet.
Well, according to this, according to the existing contours, it all would have gone right down into that swamp. I'm going by the existing contours on this map.
It all goes downhill, yes.
yes.
And so actually, by that berm, it actually held back the water from, and as Charlie said, it's gonna,
It's not a berm, that's when he started digging the foundation. It filled up like that, filled the swimming pool, then the truckloads of fill came in, and they raise it 9 feet up off the road. So,
And the reason for raising that is because there's ledge, is that correct?
No, it's the groundwater elevation. We have to have separation between the high groundwater and the septic system.
Got it.
And that
There's a lot
dictates
of
the
ledge in that
plumbing.
area, that's why I asked.
Yeah, we didn't hit any ledge when we did any of the test pits.
Okay, anyone else from the audience? What is the desire of the commission? Is it,
Approve the plan.
okay, make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the construction of Tony's house.
Is there
No
a,
restoration.
is there a second? Is there a, I'm sorry? Did you second it? Second. Okay, all in favor? It passes.
Thank you.
Charlie, they paid the legal, correct? Charlie?
Yes.
They paid the legal notice, correct? They paid for the legal notice, correct?
Yes, they
Yeah.
First one. Every hearing we worked with tonight has paid.
New hearing, notice of intent, application by Robert Martin, 1035 William Street for after-the-fact permit for garage site improvements included driveway, landscaping, above-ground pool, clearing and grading of dead trees, as well as some invasives, a new fence and restoration planting. Portion of the proposed work is within the regulated wetland buffer zone. File number, well, there is no file number here. Is that just under our buffer, our bylaw again?
They have a file number.
You have a file number. And it is zero, it's gonna be 04,
I did bring a copy of that.
let's see where I'm looking here for. I'm looking all over the place.
Don't touch.
Oh, yeah, 403? Do you need that?
Do you know what the previous file number was for this? There was a previous for the house.
403. Oh, okay, all right, then why is that other one there?
I have no idea.
The project has been signed, the following file, okay, all right.
Where is it?
480. I don't know where this, okay, that was the house previously. That was the previous file number for the house alone.
What they do, and can I see that?
That was the original house filing number, 403.
Oh, it is there? Okay. They put it in there, I guess. 0403, okay. So, the house, just a little background, do you want to read that to them? So it appears that so according to DEP, it appears that the filing approving the single-family house, file number 0403, expired in November 16, 2022. According to the submitted wetlands data sheets dated April 3rd, 2017, flags were hung in the field in 2017. Were flags rehung for this filing? Flags should be clearly visible in the field for the Conservation Commission's review. Yes, flags are clearly visible, and the 25-foot has been staked for probably a year now? Yeah. So I don't know if you want.
480 is the correct number?
80.
0480 is the correct number, but the house was approved previously without the garage for TLC development, and that was 0403. So a little background on this, I don't know, Greg, if you want to tell them, or? Is Mr. Martin here?
He is not here. He
Okay.
couldn't make it.
Okay. So I was next door at the Reed property and observed some tree cutting and clearing in the backyard, and knew that he was in the wetland and partially in the buffer zone. So I contacted him. And when I looked at the approved plan, I realized that the house that was approved by the Conservation Commission before I was here did not include a garage. So I brought it to Mr. Martin's attention, and he did tell me that he received a building permit for that garage. So anyways, I told him he needed to file with us for an after-the-fact permit, and we needed to do some restoration. So now here we are.
Okay.
Okay, I'm Greg Drake from Outback Engineering, representing Robert Martin. The applicant has filed an after-the-fact notice of intent for an existing garage that was permitted by the building inspector but was not, obviously, by conservation. The applicant is also proposing several site improvements as part of this application, which include new driveway, some retaining walls and walkways, patios, above-ground pool, and some clearing of some dead trees and invasives back in this section here. They're also proposing, since he did cut some trees down in the wetland, he's also proposing some restoration back in this area with native trees and shrubs. And there's also a large elm that is dead and a large oak tree here that are potential hazards to the house. So as part of this project, he'd like to take those down as well.
It says ash tree,
I'm sorry,
Okay.
ash tree, the large ash tree. And basically all the work is in, outside the wetland line, and the stump that's there is gonna stay there when they take that tree down. And we have added conservation signs all along here, along with boulder wall and the fencing along here. We met with Lisa out there, and she wanted to make sure that that line is defined, so it's defined by both signs, stone wall, and the fence. And we did any adjustments, we talked with Lisa, and so she's seen the whole plan, and we've reviewed it, and now we're here to discuss it with you.
Greg, can I have that old file number again, please?
480.
No, the old one.
403.
403, thank you. Good memory. Hmm?
The old number, what's the date?
The date, it was, I think it was 17, was it?
That's when it was flagged,
Flagged in 17,
so
so,
the notice of intent would have been after that.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is a rehabilitation plan, Lisa?
Well, yeah, so he's permitting, he wants to permit his garage.
Well, you got a building permit.
So, they got a building permit, but they never came before conservation.
It's a portion of the garage too, not the whole garage. The line goes through a portion of his garage,
Well-
50-foot line.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So,
That still puts the
I
whole,
know,
but we're taking care of it.
garage, it's a garage. When it's just a portion of the garage, it's a portion of the garage.
it's a portion.
That's where the error.
No,
I stand
know what you're
corrected.
saying, But our jurisdiction is 100.
He built the garage portion within the 50-foot no-build zone.
Okay, oh, I know, okay, now, okay.
Craig, where are the notes of what, okay, the plant schedule is down below. You're gonna plant, 2 dogwood trees, 2 service berry bushes, and 10 blueberries.
Yeah.
Okay. And all the planting will be done in the wetland itself. The only concern I have is that there's no planting in the 25-foot
Well, could you add that in on the order of conditions?
The other, well, I would like us to come to an agreement on that, but, the only other concern, so, we spoke about this in the field, so I just wanna make it known to you guys. Normally, we have the fencing or the posts put at the 25-foot no touch. In this case, he asked us if he could put some along the wetland, correct?
Yes, he was pretty adamant about that.
Right.
As you remember.
Well, could you discuss that
We've,
then?
we've already gone back and forth. He doesn't want to change anything. I just wanted to make it known to you guys, and it's up to you guys to decide on what you want. Is this where you want him to put the no-touch fence?
In the 25-foot buffer,
It's not going at the, it's going, so what, if you start at the southern end of the property, he's between 25 and 50 with the fence, and then it gets closer, and it gets up to the 25-foot, and then it actually gets right up to the wetland, all the way until the corner of his driveway. And then if you head west, it goes to the 25-foot, and then it heads towards the wetland again.
And he said he needed the space to back out because the doors are on this side, so he's,
Yeah, so,
if you put the fence on the 25, he can't back out of his garage.
can we,
Is the buffer zone cleared now?
the buffer zone, a lot of this is cleared, yeah.
So it's open ground? Instead of being 25 foot of grass,
Except for,
25 foot of driveway.
except for where the drive, that corner of the driveway is, that's not cleared, correct, Greg?
Yeah, no,
It's-
there might be some shrubs there, but no.
Yeah.
trees.
There's a
That looks
tree
like an
line
awful-
on the plan.
that's an awful wide driveway.
Yeah, you can see the old tree line, the proposed one.
How wide is the driveway? I mean, it looks like it's 150% the size of the garage.
That's, I think it's 40 feet. He's saying he's a big tow guy, East Coast towing. So he's got bigger trucks that he's coming in and out with. He says he needs that space. So that's why he's, you know.
Is this the same guy we asked over a year ago to do something about this, and he blew us off? Now he comes in here and he wants a pool, he wants a fence, he wants a bigger driveway. He wants to park his tow trucks, go tell him to park them up to R&F, because he bought the place.
That driveway is absolutely humongous. It's bigger than his whole house. For a normal driveway to go into that garage, I mean, I have a big driveway and it's probably 16 feet wide, and I park 2 cars across on it. And this here's what you said, 40 feet?
The driveway width at the rear, so all the way to the eastern edge, is a little over 40 feet. So it's more like 45, right?
Is it 45?
Yeah, 1 inch equals 20.
I knew it was
so
around 40. I don't have a scale with me, so I didn't.
It, maybe 48.
You know, I'm not against him having access to his garage, but to have enough there for a trucking company is ridiculous.
Yep, I can tell him because this is something that he's pushing for. So all I can do is explain to him that you guys don't agree and don't you think he needs that?
I mean, to have access to his garage, it's there now. That huge, I mean, he's got probably, I don't know how many thousands of square feet that he wants to pave. But it's a huge amount. And to use his garage as such, I don't see it's necessary whatsoever. If he has all these trucks off-site somewhere, I think that's what you said, Jack, off-site?
He has access to other places.
I'm not ready to see something that huge paved in the, in our no
Somewhere
touch.
around 4,000 square feet, the driveway. Well, you also need to take into consideration the area that's not paved, the existing gravel parking will remain.
Is
So-
what?
No, that's changing the grass, that's going to grass.
Okay, it's
That's
gonna.
right there.
Oh,
All that
okay.
gravel parking that he parks now is all going to grass. Because he parks a lot of his campers and all that, he's got all kinds of utility vehicles
So
too.
he's making it up.
So he's taking all this gravel, turning it into grass, and he's basically moving over there, but that's gravel, so I don't know if that,
But right now, it's a gravel existing parking area.
yes,
Yes.
which is gonna be turned to lawn when the new drive is put in.
And that's a pretty good, how many square feet in that? That's a big gravelled area.
I'm sure it's probably 3,000, but I have to calculate it, but I'm only guessing that. So between that and the driveway, at least it said over 4,000 for
Do
the
we
driveway.
have a
He's gonna get rid of the gravel. So he's trying to put it into a paved area, moving it over.
It's, it looks more like a trucking station or a camping station.
Everybody has a different taste.
No, I understand that, but it has to be within the regulations.
But we also have a driveway in the front of the yard.
We also have what?
There's a driveway in the front yard as well,
That goes directly into the house.
the original driveway.
I'd like to see a revised plan come in showing access for the garage only. And limit it greatly on the wetland side. What is everyone else's thoughts?
Right now, the gravel exists right where he plans to, this driveway entrance, that's grade.
It's gravel now, yeah.
The gravel, it's all gravel.
Yep, it's all gravel right up to where the,
It's all gravel.
it's all gravel now, even where in front of the garage now where he
So
comes in and out.
this whole area is gravelled,
Yeah,
Right now,
he just
yeah,
wants to pave it.
correct.
yep.
You could live with just a gravel driveway.
I can ask him that, run that by him.
He didn't, this proposed paved driveway was not part of what you guys approved originally. You guys approved a driveway in front of his house.
But he's using it, he's using that gravel area now.
Yeah,
It's his yard.
yeah.
Okay. If it stays gravel, it won't make any difference. He's still gonna be able to use the property the way he wants to, except it won't be asphalt.
Okay, I mean, I'll run that by him.
No, I mean,
That makes sense to me, but, it's his house and.
so it just won't be a big problem for him, and it'll save him a lot of money.
That too, yeah.
But we still would like to demarcate, what is going to be no touch. Where the posts are gonna be, obviously, are they gonna stay where you have them on the plan? Did the commission want them moved?
I didn't get that.
The posts, the no-touch zone, okay? They go up, it goes up along where the gravel driveway is now, and then it goes over. So it's right up against the wetland for a good chunk until he gets down to about here. And then it goes, it's further out. See it? You guys see that?
He's in the no-touch zone here. This is the no-touch zone. He wants to pave that, or even, I mean, he's got plenty of room to use his driveway, to use his garage, without getting involved in any of that. Actually, most of the driveways,
We're using it now anyway.
I mean, actually, when you really come down to it, this here's our no-touch zone. I mean, he could come out here and just come through here. Just use the.
Well, I don't know why he's doing it, but right now, this gravel exists over there. This is part.
Is the whole thing gravel, even where it's gonna be paved? So actually what he's done is altered the no-touch zone. The 25-foot no-touch zone.
Yeah, he built the garage, and he built it, if he had known, I don't know, I suppose there's water under the bridge, but he said he would have changed the location of where he'd go in and out of the garage if he'd known he was gonna be dealing with wetlands, so, but it's already permitted and in, so.
Right in his yard. What we're denying is a paving. He's still gonna have a yard.
No, the point is, do we want to require the restoration of a 25-foot no-touch? Which we can do.
So in other words, he would use this here and come out here, rather than, and this would be reestablished.
This is the only part.
And over here.
The restoration.
And over here. That's 25.
Oh, I see.
So he would come out here and use this. In other words, this driveway, it would be like this. This is what would be used as a driveway here.
Listen to me, he's using this for a driveway now, it's gravelled.
But he has altered.
Well, if he needs to do restoration, then he'll do the restoration, but it'll still be gravel. Unless
Not if he makes restoration on it.
He needs to be able to get back out of the garage and maneuver though too, right? And I don't know if that 25 foot, especially in that corner, if he can maneuver the vehicles in and out. I mean, the 45 feet is.
Does he have 18-wheelers?
No, but he's got a trailer, a camper and stuff like that. And
Well,
What are you opposed to, Jim?
if this here,
Width of
if this
the
here,
driveway?
no, he can come up through here, to have campers over here, our camper's only 8 feet wide, and that driveway is 40. There's plenty of room to put his trailers here and to reestablish our no-touch zone.
So you want him to remove the gravel that's there now and plant grass.
In the 25-foot
No,
no-touch zone.
it wouldn't be grass, it would be, restoration wildlife seed mix,
Once it's blacktop, you can't touch it.
right? True,
Untouchable.
right. I agree.
Would the restoration of this 25-foot zone require, in order for him to use this area?
Well, he's already using it, it's gravel now. That's gravel.
There's an existing stone wall, looks like,
so
right?
he'd have to take the wall out because there's an existing stone wall that's
Well, isn't the stone wall go up here too?
goes up. There's the entrance that's already there.
Looks like
It goes on the
Yeah, so,
Goes both
so he
sides.
could just come out right through
You
here.
don't have to take the wall out, I mean,
In
we
other
have
words,
walls
he would use
in
this here,
wetlands everywhere.
and then he would come in
in
here.
order to get in. If
And
you're
then
gonna
this would be restored. I mean,
which I don't know if he's going to
playing
want to do that.
ignorant all the time, that's what everybody does, so I didn't know.
He's not here, and
There was an order of conditions already on it. You said, okay, Jack, what I'm looking at is this is all gravel. He could just use this coming in here and then using his garage here. I mean, this,
But I mean, has he got enough? Yeah, he's got enough to come through there. I mean, he wants to do all kinds of stuff back here, right?
I don't know, he
Well,
wants to park a
well-
trailer. He wants to park a
Don't worry
trailer.
about
There's-
the trailer, Jim. It's all the stuff back here. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
never cleaned up any of this. He didn't do anything. He's blown us off for over a year. You know what I'm saying? Didn't answer letters, correct?
No, he was receptive at the beginning,
Yeah,
and
but
then
then-
it took a long time to,
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I say, to get through here, can you get through here to do all he wants out there?
What's he, I don't know what he need, what he wants to
a
do here.
pool, He wants a pool, he wants a patio, he wants a deck,
Well,
he wants to put up a fence.
well, isn't the fence is gonna be here?
The fence is, I think Lisa's idea to keep people out for now on,
Yeah, but right here, Jim.
which he has no problem.
it was either a fence or posts, and really, what I really wanted was it along the 25-foot.
Yeah, pool, clearing, grading,
Yeah.
trees, driveway, you know what I mean?
And he says he needs to get back, he said they would crimp him on right there, that's why he pushed back on that. I don't know what to tell you.
So these proposed conservation signs would essentially be right at the end of the pavement, is that right?
Well, this is
Yeah.
wetland over here already, so he's actually going into the edge of the wetland.
Yeah, we're deep inside the past
Yeah.
25 foot.
You know, but I'm looking at, there's plenty of room here for him to use this here, and without, and then if he had to go back here, there's still room here, I mean, that's gotta be 15, 20 feet, if he has to access back here. You know, I'm not trying to deny the guy anything, but that seems like a tremendous area, and it's, and a lot of it is infringing upon the 25-foot no-touch zone.
Point is, the 25-foot no-touch zone has been touched.
So what do we do when people do that? We make them restore?
It's restoration, it doesn't have to be in the 25-foot zone. You can plant plants all over this yard.
So you guys would trade off giving up some of that 25-foot no-touch for his driveway in exchange for more plants in the 25-foot south of his driveway?
I don't know what that 25-foot south of the driveway looks like.
Well, you guys can come to the site, we can do a site visit, how's that?
Yep.
Yeah. Let's plan that.
Do you wanna do that?
You wanna do it when you get back, Jim? Jim's going away, how dare him?
Well, you can,
We got a
go
month
on and I
before the
can-
next meeting.
You can do it anytime you want with them, that I can go even on my own when I return.
Yeah.
I mean, it's whatever, it's best. So
Okay.
what we're looking for then is a continuance.
Yeah, if you guys wanna come out and see it.
Yeah. Charlie, what does that, does that satisfy you?
Well, there's no choice. It's a continue, we're not gonna approve the plan tonight.
Yeah, no. Continue? Oh, yes?
Yeah, you're not gonna approve the plan, so.
Well, anyone in the audience have a question?
On this project.
Okay, is there a motion to continue?
I make a motion, we continue, 1035 William Street to, 5/18/23.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Greg, I just need you to sign that, please.
Request by Northeast Building Company, current developer of Center Street Wood subdivision on Morris Lane, for the town to accept a conservation restriction as shown on the conservation restriction plan dated July 12, 2008, as part of the NHESP permit number 13-215 DFW for the Morris Lane subdivision.
This is the same area that we thought we had.
I was here at the last meeting and we thought you already had it, and come to find out you didn't. So we put off anything else until this was rectified. We've already given a copy of what you see in front of you to the select. Oh, I'm sorry.
They don't have it yet. I'm not that quick.
Okay.
I need a secretary. No, no, paperwork to clean up here.
So the drawing you're currently looking at came directly from the wildlife permit that they've already seen and actually approved the permit based on the fact that they thought that was getting recorded immediately.
Okay, wait a minute. Oh, okay.
So this whole gray area is the same as it was when we thought we
Yes.
had.
This is, I was just saying that's actually part of the wildlife permit. That was I don't know, page 47 out of 50, in the back of the permit. And that part of the conditions of the permit that they issued to the original developer, was that gets recorded. There was a whole litany of things that were supposed to be done before construction started that never took place. So now we're in the process of playing catch-up, and this came across, Lisa pointed this out at the last meeting. And we're like, oh, okay, we'll run and get it done.
The original owner is no longer in business.
Correct. Correct.
That's a good indication of how good a builder he was.
Not so much to build a developer, I guess, as dotting the i's and crossing the t's.
Okay, accepting the conservation restriction, I guess the selectmen also have to accept it, the conservation subdivision?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not, so it's us, and then it has to go on to the selectmen for approval as well?
Right, they already have a copy of
Okay.
of that drawing. I dropped it at their office yesterday.
Okay.
Because there already is a conservation restricted area.
Well, yeah, it's already, we
But
put
it's
the
not
signs
legal.
up, we did everything, we're just trying to make it official. The markers have been put in, there were 3 that they didn't get to yet, because there was like a foot and a half of water there, and they couldn't literally get in there to do it, but,
You sure that's conservation then? Foot of water.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, we have like 3 more markers to put in, but basically all the signs are up, with the signs that were agreed upon at the last, just prior to the last meeting, we had ordered the signs. And, Misty from the wildlife, I forget the department she's from, but.
Mass Wildlife.
Mass Wildlife had okayed the signs, and Lisa had okayed the signs, and we ordered them, and they're all up. So,
Okay, Lisa, we're good to go on this, and
Good.
then, but you know, they have to approve it as well.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
We can't record it until it's signed off on, I guess, by all parties.
okay. Is there a motion to accept this conservation?
I'll make a motion to accept this, what we thought was our conservation restricted area again.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I guess, thank you. I guess the question would be, does it actually have to go to a vote before the selectmen? Because it was all, when this subdivision was approved, and this permit from Mass Wildlife was
No,
issued, I wasn't around then, that was 10 years ago.
well, we were, he and I were anyway.
I was
It-
not,
Yeah, both of us went. So that never came before the board before to vote on it,
right, from what
Okay.
we understand,
or
yeah.
the selectmen.
Because I double-checked with the assessor's office who went into the deeds and said,
It's not recorded.
yeah,
Okay, well, it's a formality.
formality,
You
yeah.
have to do it anyway. So the other 2 lots, is that now
I don't know
or
where you
come
are
back?
on the, Charlie has the agenda, so.
No, we
But you guys
have,
have to officially vote. Did you vote?
I'm sorry?
Did you vote to accept it?
Yes.
Okay, sorry if I missed
We
that.
haven't voted to accept it yet.
Yes, we just did.
Oh, we did.
You made the
Where was
motion,
that?
you made the motion, Jack,
Motion, I second
Jack
it,
seconded, and we voted.
It's
Okay,
tough to
great.
get old.
You were with me, I was reading.
Okay, so that's been accepted by conservation. Now, what do you have to do as selectmen? Anything, or just be notified?
Be notified.
Okay, and then you're good to go.
You guys prime notified them.
Prime notified them and I dropped the plan off.
Yeah, Prime sent a letter to you guys, yeah. So they
Okay,
need to
so
be on
you're
your
set
agenda.
on the conservation,
On
okay.
that, yes.
Just gotta, what is it, record it?
I guess the selectmen have to sign off on it. I guess there's gonna be
Okay.
an official copy with the signature on it to be recorded. So as soon as we track that down, we'll get it recorded.
Okay. Okay, I guess we're all set. Yes, question?
To expedite this, is there any way that we could have that letter for Monday?
The letter
Yeah.
requesting you to do, I think you already have it,
Yeah, we already have it.
but I'll double check. If not, we'll get you another copy tomorrow.
Town hall is closed.
Monday morning,
Okay,
so I'm gonna put something on there tentatively,
yep.
but just we'll need that to make.
You have the drawing already. The paper that requests, the formal request, we'll email it over to you.
Awesome.
Okay, perfect. My other two lots, is that on the? go sit down
There's
and
one
come
in
back up.
between, there's one in between you.
problem. I don't wanna cut the line.
Okay. Joe, you have been very patient. You're on next. Request by Joseph Baptista for an amended order of conditions at 2162 Horton Street, DEP file number 17-433. Changes are as follows. The location of the actual structure is depicted in the final septic design plan, wetland restoration plan, replication plan, the plan prepared by Mr. Tunison and approved by the USA COE differs from the replication plan approved by the Dayton Conservation Commission and Mass DEP. Mr. Tunison's plan is more extensive, as well as the plantings were expanded to provide additional species found within native wetland areas. Driveway alteration after the bridge culvert at the request of Chief McGuire. Elimination of a gravel turnaround for fire access due to the final driveway layout. Minor alterations of the driveway before the bridge culvert at the location of the large rock outcropping. Reduction of the driveway width from 16 to 14 feet, and installation of replication and restoration area in the fall of 2023. Okay, okay. Okay, I know that I've been through this, I've been at the site, so I think what you're going to be doing more is speaking to the audience as well as us, and I don't know how many times I've been out there that you've seen me and when you haven't seen me. And I don't know about the others, but I am well aware of what you're asking here, but go ahead.
Joseph Baptista, 2162 Dayton.
Horton Street.
Horton Street, yeah, in Dayton. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Caledonia. So what I'm here before you is several things. I know you have a package there that we'll walk through as we go through this. The first actual page on the packet that you have is a side-by-side. The proposed house from the original approval and then the amended orders is on the left-hand side. And you can notice I circled the garage, a good portion of the garage and a good portion of the driveway outside the garage was inside the 100-foot buffer. If you look to the right, the house, I've actually brought the house forward approximately 35 feet, so it is outside the 100-foot buffer, and the detached garage, different house plan from what was the proposed, is there's a small portion of the garage, less than 5 feet, inside the 100-foot buffer, and a small portion of the driveway within the 100-foot buffer on the actual plan that was submitted to Mr. Pilling at Board of Health for the septic plan. The second piece is a wetland restoration plan, which is in the package. So there was some temporary disturbances at the site. First one was getting the bridge culvert installed. We had 5 20-ton bridge pieces that had to be put in place on top of the footings on both sides of the stream. in order for the crane to take those pieces off the flatbeds and swing them around and drop them down, we had to widen up on the Horton side of the stream. So there were temporary disturbances outside the limit of work at that location. On the other side of the bridge, my mistake, we actually cleared outside of the limit of work. So in consultation with Lisa, and Mr. Digits, and being out there, we did a restoration plan. We hired Garrett Tunnison as our wetland scientist to do a wetland restoration plan, which was provided to Lisa, I think, back in November. Lisa had some recommendations. Those recommendations went back to Garrett. He then submitted a final restoration plan for those temporary disturbed areas. And those temporary disturbed areas are all silt-socked and segregated. The plan right now, and I'm jumping down in the list, but the plan for the replication and the restoration is within the next, hopefully 30 days, to cut and fill the replication areas 1 and 2, which is to the left of the driveway and then a little further down on Horton Street. And then to hydro seed with the wet mix, the replication areas and the restoration areas in the spring to allow ground cover to happen. New England wet mix ground cover, which is called out for on both plans, to happen over the summer. Because in consultation with Garrett Tunnison, the wetland scientist, less stress on the plants to go in the fall versus the spring. And the plan is to, in September, to do all of the restoration plantings and the replication plantings. Those tables that are in both plans are with New England wetland plants. They have the order. The order hasn't been signed off yet because they don't need the order signed off until the beginning of July. And it's also subject to your approval of the replication plan, which leads me to the replication plan. So the second part of your package, the next 3 pages, the first 2 pages are the replication plan that was approved by Army Corps. When the third page,
This number 3,
number 3, and you go, so the first 2 pages is replication area 1, which is left of the driveway. Replication area 2 is a little further down on Horton Street. The third page, which is this document right here, is what was approved by DEP and the Dayton Conservation Commission. So there were 219 shrubs for the replication area, approved 48 trees, and 612 herbaceous plant plugs. The Army Corps, going back and forth throughout the approval process, required a more extensive replication plan, which is in your package, and that permit. And the Army Corps plan calls for 173 shrubs, some high bush blueberry, some sweet pepper, but as you can see on the previous page, there's spice bush, northern spice bush, silky dogwood, southern arrowwood, common winterberry, high bush blueberry, and sweet pepper bush. There's 126 trees versus the 48 on the original plan. And there's 498 plugs. So, again, one of the things I'm coming before the commission is approval of the replication plan required by Army Corps, which is requiring me for 10 years of monitoring, invasive species removal, and reporting for sign-off versus, I believe it's what, two years?
sign off for,
Well,
yeah,
for
we have 2
typically
years.
2
but
years. I have 10 for Army
always
Corps.
requires 10.
More.
And the reason they want a denser planting is because they know for a fact that the weeds are gonna come in quick. So the denser planting will help ensure that there's success. I think you need, what, 80% cover, right, of
75 or 80.
75 or 80, yeah, percent cover of non-invasive species.
Any questions thus far? So the next is if you go to the next page, is the, well, no, excuse me, I'm sorry, there's two emails which were, Lisa was included on, which is the driveway alteration after the bridge culvert. The original plan has you transition east as you go over the bridge, you transition west when you leave the bridge, and then there was a transition back to the right. Those transitions, we're gonna make it extremely difficult, if not impossible, for a articulated vehicle to get back to where the house is. I had asked Chief McGee to go out to the site and to look at it, and to look at basically a less of a transition from the bridge culvert after the stream back up to the house area, more of a straight run. And he agreed, he provided that information, his preference from fire safety was to have more of a straight transition after the bridge up to the house area. And that was provided to Lisa and also to Mr. Aguirre. Also on the original plan, you call out for a gravel turnaround for fire access so for their vehicles to be able to leave the property. With the new house plan with the detached barn/garage, there's 70 feet between the house and the barn. And it's Chief McGee's opinion that is sufficient turnaround to not require a gravel turnaround as well on the site.
Barn, you mean the proposed garage?
Garage.
That's freestanding, yeah.
Correct. I do also have in your package the transitions today. When you're looking from the bridge back up to the house area, and then also from the house area looking back down, which is a more straight transition once you cross the stream. Going before the stream, there's a outcropping of a large rock that I've marked on the picture there. Half of that rock is outside the limit of work, and to try to break that rock, I'm going to potentially disturb outside of the limit of work. So in conversations when we're out on the site doing a visit, and also with Chief McGee, was to just allow for a slight shift in the driveway to not have to disturb that outcropping.
That's pudding stone, isn't it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure. And the last thing is, in addition to moving the house outside the 100-foot buffer and having the garage only, a very small portion of that garage inside the 100-foot buffer from the original proposed plan, I also reduced the driveway with the asphalt from 16 feet down to 14 feet. Still having 20-foot clear, which is required by Chief McGee, but reducing the impervious material on the site from 16 feet down to 14 feet from the street all the way back up to the house area. Questions?
I don't have any questions. I've been there enough times, and a couple of those things I even recommended to you at one time, especially about the bridge, and they're coming to fruition. Anybody? Jack? Paul?
No.
Charlie?
No question.
Bill? No. Audience?
I have a question. Could we send people to you for advice on whether they should fill in a wetland?
I've learned a lot in this process, so absolutely. It's been a learning experience, but I think I'm on the right track right now.
Yeah, you are, definitely.
How long has this been going on? 2 years?
Oh, no, well, it's probably about a little over 2.5 years
Yeah.
ago, project was stopped.
Permit, well,
For
it
2
was
years it was shut down.
permitted 2.5 years ago, and then about 2 years and a few months, I started and realized there was some issues, yeah.
So we're on the right track now. And just from the replication standpoint, as an update, the engineers were out there last Thursday, checking all the flags for replication area 1 and 2, also staking the outside borders of where that replication areas are gonna be, along with putting the cuts and fills in. Next week, I plan on having silt sock done around both replication areas with a small area to get in and out, access points for both areas. And then we'll get in there, cut, fill, take a lot of the material that is stored out back right now from the site, put it back in place I'll let Lisa know. Also, Garrett Tunnison, the wetland scientist, will be involved, and then get that hydro seeding done to get the ground cover going throughout the summer.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept changes, the amended order of conditions as defined?
Well, we'll be issuing an amended order of conditions.
Say that again?
We will be issuing an
Yes,
amended order.
but we want to make a motion to issue
To
an amendment.
issue.
An amended. Okay, you're gonna,
I'll do that.
what?
Yes, I make a motion that we issue an amended order of conditions
Yeah.
to Mr. Baptista that follow the list that you just read.
Based on your revised March 13th, 2023 plan, correct?
Yes, that's the septic design site plan.
Okay.
I'll second Charlie's motion.
All in favor?
I-
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you want a couple of these extras?
Joe, take one of our brochures there, those are the new ones.
No, you
You should have had your slide in there.
I'll let you know when they say so.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night.
Okay, a request by Stonegate Landing for a partial certificate of compliance for 983 Stonegate Landing. Map 9, Lot 2S, file number 17-445.
No one's here for that, but I do have the paperwork. I conducted a site visit with the owner, Mr. Fedorov, on March 29th. So they are requesting a partial, and I recommend the site is not stabilized, and the driveway. If you guys would sign 2 copies once you vote on it, please.
It's not complete, but you want us to give him a partial certificate.
Okay, so the house is in place.
Okay.
We are allowed to, under the Wetlands Protection Act, give partials. So you don't have to give a partial, you can wait and say, I wanna give you a full, complete. But they requested a partial so they can sell it. And then once they sell it, apparently they'll have enough money to seed it and finish the driveway, I don't know. It's my understanding they'll be back before us in the next couple months for the final stabilization with the driveway.
Now, do they have to do something with the wildlife permits?
No, this is Stonegate Landing.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay.
We have,
I'm sorry? I can't hear you.
we made a motion.
No.
I make a motion that we approve the certificate, partial certificate of compliance
I'll
for
second
Stonegate
that.
Landing.
Okay, seconded by Jack, all in favor?
Aye. I don't have a pen, have to borrow a pen.
Can't wait for Lisa's return. Okay, next we have a request by Morris Development LLC for a certificate of compliance for map 9, lot 57-2, 7 Morris Lane. SE, file number SE 17437. And would you just wait a moment until Lisa returns?
No problem.
Okay, you're gonna give me my pen back so I can sign? Oop. Pass that down, please. And that one as well. Okay, Lisa, we have Morris Lane.
Yeah. So, which
Okay,
one?
So, well, we have 3 lots left on Maris. 2 of them are 100% complete. One of them is under construction. So we're looking for release from the order of conditions for the 2 that are complete. I believe you've done a site visit with those, right, Lisa?
I've done site visits, yeah, we did 3 and 1, before we realized, we had scheduled those before we realized there were still outstanding mass wildlife issues.
Right, so they've been plugging away at the mass wildlife issues, but
Pass that down, that goes.
this is not our last visit here.
Lisa,
Yeah, thank you.
where's the rest of this?
Once here before, there were 2 of them.
That's right.
There were 2 of them.
Any drawings for the,
Not I have.
What?
Not in my head.
No, they're
I
not,
just moved it so I could see.
you
they're
need
not,
these?
they're not looking for that, they're
Oh.
looking for something else. Sorry.
It was the,
This is yours. This is his one.
no, okay, was that,
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I can take all this stuff. You found it?
No?
We'll find it, it will turn up, let's keep going.
okay? Okay. The one that's missing is the,
Gay and gay.
no, we got gay and gay.
The other half of gay and gay is missing.
Well, we had a paper to sign for payment, but there was also a note.
I've got another copy, this one, but where is the top sheet of that?
I've got that.
Yeah, it was the one with all the, I think Charlie had a paper, but we had one.
All right, it'll turn up, I'm gonna look through this paperwork.
Okay, you're on.
Okay, so, we still have a few outstanding issues with, mass wildlife, but we also have 3 lots left. 2 of them are complete, one of them is under construction. So I'd like to get the 2 that are complete, that Lisa's done a site walk on, released from the order of conditions so I can close them. And we're still working on the last one, so this is not the last you'll see of me.
Okay, now, what is it that you have to do for mass wildlife?
Well, today, Prime called them for an extension for 30 days, because we'll be done with the last house will be done with the site work in about 30 days. Going down their checklist of 20 items, we just voted on one. It was recording that thing that should have been recorded prior to any start of any construction. And we have to wrap up with them, once we complete and we sell the last house, they need to do a sign off. And we also have to get them to sign off on the homeowners association. They have to approve that. I think it's a formality from what I read in their order, in their conditions.
There's also an item in there that states that there needs to be some, well, let's look at it.
We have to have a final inspection from them, and we have to have the
basins, make sure the basins aren't being maintained during a certain time of year,
which we're not.
right? And then the curbing.
The curbing is in.
The curbing is correct.
The curbing is in.
However, my big concern is that this permit expired the
Right,
beginning
and
of the
Prime
month.
reached out to Misty yesterday.
Okay.
And she has not, and again today, and she is not available until, I guess, next week. So he's reaching out for a 30-day extension. There's no point extending it for 10 more years when we're working on the last septic system now. So he said about 30 days should be sufficient. We've already taken down 98% of the turtle controls that were around the whole perimeter.
Yeah.
We've actually added some more because now you have to separate the turtles from the street. So there's not a lot left on that. When it's all in the last house. The two houses that we're talking about, there's no hay bales left, no stabilization to
No
be
silt
done.
fence, yeah.
No silt fence, the grass is growing, and I guess the turtles come and go.
My only concern is to make sure that this permit, Mass Wildlife is happy. So if they've complied with Mass Wildlife. So in order to ensure that, the only thing we really have is to hold up the orders. That's the only thing we have.
Well, you have it on the last house, though.
So we have orders on lot 5 because per the Conservation Commission, we had them file, even though there were no wetlands, remember?
Yes.
The last lot, lot 5, right?
Yes, correct.
So we still have, and that's recorded and it's restricted as far as,
It's just as if there were wetlands on
yeah.
it. So I have to come back to get that released. And that would probably be when
Yeah.
Mass Wildlife is totally, we're done with them.
So what Rick and I had originally talked about recently was that if you guys would be willing to vote to issue a certificate of compliance based on those Mass Wildlife,
Approval.
yeah, Mass Wildlife approval.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
we need to
fine.
get the extension from Mass Wildlife, and hope to get that in the next week. And then I can close my two houses, and I still have to complete all their items, but, and just logistically, you can't complete it until we complete the house. So there's no way I can complete everything that they're requiring until, by definition, we're done with the last house. So I don't wanna hold up closings on two houses that are sold and people are looking to move in May. Until I finish the last house, that won't be done until July.
So, but you think the Mass Wildlife, so these guys aren't going to sign the certificate of compliances until they know that's done?
Well, until what's done? Until everything on the Mass Wildlife checklist is done? That means that the whole project is done. So you can't, I don't wanna hold up houses that are, I understand holding it up on the last one, because then we're done with the project. By definition, we're done. Once that last house is built and the grass is planted and everything's stabilized, and all the silt fence is down, we've completed everything that they're looking for.
Yeah.
Now, if there's items in between there that we have to complete, that's fine. That all has to be done for the last house. But I can't complete everything they're looking for without completing the last house. If that
Yeah,
makes sense to you, right?
That's logical.
So I'd like to get these two released, and then nothing,
But the problem is, though, that was all supposed to be started, I know it wasn't you, but with the original developer.
right, we're going back and
Yeah.
we're getting, I've got my checklist here, and I've, you know, prior to construction, so that stuff,
So they're gonna ask for as-bills.
yeah,
Yeah.
as-built for
They're likely
the
gonna.
individual houses.
Yeah, they're-
Which we have by, again, I can't get a CO without an as-built. So, but I can't give them an as-built to comply with lot 5 because it's still in the built phase.
So I'm fine if you guys wanted to approve the certificates for these two, but with the understanding that we don't approve the last one until we get a letter from Mass Wildlife.
Understood.
That sounds reasonable. Okay, do we have a motion to, now what is it,
Lot 2 and lot 8.
I do not have anything for you to sign. I'm behind the 8 ball on all my paperwork.
That's fine. We're being recorded, right? So,
We are being recorded. And I have a lot of paperwork.
that's all right. Well, I just, as long as I don't have to come back for the next meeting, because I'll be trying to get COs before that, before the 18th.
Yeah.
What was that, lot 2 and lot 8?
Correct.
7, I believe.
Make a motion that we, issue a certificate of compliance for lot 2 and lot 8 for Maris Developers LLC.
And that's number 7 Maris Lane and number 18.
Correct.
is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, Jim Digits is gonna be away, so I'm gonna need Jack, Charlie, and Bill to be available for signatures. Sorry. Paul doesn't sign yet, but I wish he did, because he's really quick to get it. I work with him, so.
I did not pay Lisa to say that.
Okay, so you're all set for those 2 lots.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've got a whole page missing here.
Whole page missing of what?
We've got one.
There should be 3.5 pages of agenda. Okay,
I don't know why, I missed the whole page.
all right, well,
I'll
we're
have
on
to go
to,
by you.
we're on to bills. So, Gay and Gay bill of $3,537, sorry, $3,500.37 for the Conservation Commission appeal of DEP superseding orders of conditions for Strawberry Fields, DEP file number SE 17-436. Do you have, you want to have a motion? Is there discussion?
No discussion. I'll make a motion that we pay the invoice.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Second invoice for Nova Environmental Consulting LLC for peer review, 0 Old Horton Street, in the amount of $1,423.36.
How much was that?
$1,423.36.
Invoice number 1032?
You have it.
Yeah,
Okay.
1032.
And that should have the paper underneath it.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so that's what we were missing. Okay. Is there another one on Nova for Strawberry Fields?
No, I haven't seen any.
There's one for Nova for Strawberry Fields, and there's another for 0 Horton Street.
Okay.
That's 1032 invoice.
Okay, make the motion then to pay that.
I'll
You,
make a
you
motion.
guys just paid that one. That's the one I read off, the old Horton.
Okay, that was 1423.
Yep.
Okay. And
This one is $2,343.75.
that's Marty Nova for
Professional services for
Strawberry Field.
Fields residential development. I'll make a motion, we pay that one as well.
Second it.
All in favor? Okay, I had that on my list here, on my preliminary list,
If I
Lisa.
hadn't left out a page, I'd have it too.
Any of them, so.
Okay,
And just so everybody in the audience knows, this money is collected by the applicant, and we use a review consultant, so we send it out for third party. It's not coming out of your taxes.
okay, review and act upon, discuss our June meeting date.
So we got one more. We've got a beta bill.
Oh,
A beta bill?
okay, I don't have that one.
Oh, all right.
Beta bill is number 3, and it's for 1130 Briggs and Red Review, and it's $681.35.
Okay, that comes out of 53G.
Yes,
Okay, 600 what?
681.35.
Okay, make a motion on that.
Need a motion to pay this bill as well. For beta.
All in favor? Okay. Okay. Okay, next we have the, to discuss the date, the June meeting date. Okay, Lisa, you want to deal with that? And we'll
Yeah, I
put it up-
have a conflict. My son is graduating from high school, and there's no way I'm missing that, so, can we change the meeting to June 22nd?
And what, is that a what?
It's the next Thursday. And can I brag about my son? He got into all the colleges he applied to, and he got into the one of his choice, which is Wentworth. He wants to be a mechanical engineer. He got the presidential award. He got over $30,000 in scholarships, and I can't even believe it.
That's good for about half a semester, so.
No, he actually got, he got $90,000 to cover the first 2 years.
Congratulations.
I know. I'm really proud.
That's super. Okay, do we have a motion to change our meeting date from June, let's see, that would be the 14th, no, the 15th to the 22nd.
Make a motion, we change the meeting, June meeting. Whatever.
To the June 22nd.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay, so that will be posted up on the, early up on the board.
Okay, yeah.
Act to discuss request that the conservationists sign off on the Board of Health septic permit prior to them being issued.
Yeah, so, recently, there was a vote, I guess, by the Board of Health to not allow the agent to hold up any permits for stormwater committee. And, so, you know, we do have a situation tonight, on Hart Street, where if, they had required conservation sign-off prior, then possibly that could have gotten held up in the health process. I know it was not held up in the building process, but if it was held up in the health department process, I think that would have made the process go a little bit more like it should. So I recommend you write a letter to the Board of Health requesting that they ensure that conservation approves before the health permits are issued. regarding,
Is that just the Board of Health, or how
Septic
about building
system.
permits?
regarding septic systems. Yeah, building permits, we do have to figure out a process for that as well as,
Okay, Charlie, you are on for that? Yes. Okay, so Board of Health and Building Department that we have to sign off first.
yeah.
Okay,
Who wants to write the letter?
I'll write it.
All right. I was hoping you'd say that.
Let's see if we can get some of these people out of here that have been sitting there
Yeah.
for a long time.
Okay, so let's skip down to 0 Horton Street, map 10, lot 50, oh,
Where are you?
map 10, lot 53, enforcement order issued. Is this Olivera? Yes, let's skip over to him.
wait, Lisa, where are we, 0 Horton Street? Okay,
All right, I'll just write it in.
okay.
No idea what that is.
Me too.
That is, very close.
I got nothing on the agenda, Jim.
No, okay,
I haven't had
Everybody's got
anything
the
on
same
the
page
agenda.
missing.
that,
No, I'm just saying.
this is near Joe's property.
I know where it is, that
Okay.
way, but I mean, there's nothing on paper.
Okay,
to-
I'll try to keep, I have the early, edition, I have the early edition, which,
I got the
which,
afternoon edition. All right, okay.
okay, Mr. Rivero?
But what was posted is pretty much in order of how we're going right now, so.
Okay, go ahead, you're on.
You were taking this out of order right now.
Well, yeah, pretty much. I'm gonna be honest. I've been working out of state for the past 2 months, so I wasn't aware of what was going on. The last conversation I had with my engineer was that he does have the existing condition plans done. He is currently working on a proposal plan for the path to access back property, restored wetland and located area for a new wetland of offset path intrusion. That's basically all I got from him.
Do you know how much alteration you have made?
As far as what, the drive?
Wetlands and buffer zone? No.
No.
He promised me over a month ago, yeah.
Yeah, well, I also do a lot of business with Chris, and I know that he's got his hands full. And it's still not an excuse
Right.
why hasn't he gotten back to you, but now I'm back, and I will reassure that he will get back to you.
So when can we expect a restoration?
I'm hoping from the last conversation I had with him, I'm hoping that he's done by next week.
He can work with Steven, your wetland scientist.
Which is a nice guy. I've been talking to Mr. Steven.
Yeah, so if you want to kind of push it along a little bit, I
That's
think
what
you
he
should
said.
try to work with him to get it pushed along. Because,
To be honest with you guys, I'm kind of excited to have all that taken care of by Sunday.
yeah. So can we expect something by the May 8th?
Oh.
Like maybe
Yes, ma'am.
2 weeks prior to the May 18th meeting to give me time to review it? Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I guess we're all set then.
yeah. We just needed an update. Thank you.
Okay,
Once again, I apologize for the inconvenience.
okay.
All right, thank you.
Lisa, do you have someone else here? I see,
Well, next in line, we can skip over the ones that aren't here. 771 Hart, they left. They already told us they, 771 Hart, they were here
got
making
Kenny
the
here.
complaints. Let's see. 880 Hart. Oh, no. Yeah, so those guys, 880 Hart, the violation, they were here and they did send a complaint letter into the town administrator. I do know that. However, they are working with Prime Engineering to get the wetlands flagged. Next would be 700 Main Street, a new complaint of wetland and bank alterations. Certified notice of violation was sent out on February 22nd, and returned to us unclaimed. Is Mr. Alderson here? Okay. So, we required a response and them attending our meeting to discuss the work that was done on their property. Did you want to step up, or did you want to just talk informally?
I'm his father, Steve Elderkin.
Okay.
And on behalf of my son, Stevie, I sold him the land like 4.5 years ago, and I've owned it since 1979, 80, and I cleared all that land out back then, and then I sold it to him. There was a couple remaining storage containers near the river and an old shed. So we took them out of there, cleaned up around them. We took the shed out of there, cleaned up around that, and the remaining was some
old fence, rotted fence, stuff like that. When I bought the property, I just cleaned it up and removed his belongings.
Junk I had there.
And they went to his new property. That's
Pretty
what
much
we did.
never messed with the river. Since Mr. Fedett and Mr. Mello walked my property in 2010, it's still the same without them buildings there now.
Mr. Chairman, even though I'm not a voting member, just in sake of full transparency, I do live at 725 Main Street. I see we've got 700 Main and 670 Main, so I just wanted to disclose that I am neighbors with both those residents.
Okay.
So we did some record, well, Mr. Logan was in and told me that the Conservation Commission or the town had looked at this previously. So we do have a determination of applicability that the Conservation Commission did write up, and that was in 2010, August. The findings include that a siltation barrier be installed between the altered upland area and along the entire length of the altered area facing the stream. This protected barrier shall be kept in place and in good repair for as long as the area is used as a dirt bike track, or until the area is revegetated and no longer poses a threat, poses siltation migration threat to perennial stream. The commission will be notified prior to the installation of the barrier so it can improve the location. So, at this point, 13 years later, with the area still unstable.
It's all level.
Yeah, but it's, if you look at it, there has to be silt that's coming down the bank. There's no stabilization. Do you know what I'm saying?
Grass is growing.
So I think we need a site visit. I had scheduled one and Mr. Phillips was gonna go out with me, but then he had the death in his family, so. I think we need a site visit before we can talk more about it, but I would like to see, I think a silt fence is a temporary measure, but we need something to
A
make.
dirt bike still running in the area?
No,
So it wouldn't be a problem to grass it and to,
there is grass that grows there in the summer,
This
yes.
is what happens. Ever since you guys put in the developments up on Marion Ave and Estabrook and all that, and the solar fields, this is what happens to the land every spring. It
Right,
washes
'cause it's a
everything
flood
away.
zone, yeah.
It wasn't when I bought it. This is how it was when I bought it in the 80s. That's how it was, that and that. It was a brook. It dried up in the summer. Wasn't even nothing in it.
Okay.
Ever since they put them drains in and them solar fields and all the stuff on Estabrook and all that, it's just a flood. It just floods everything out. You plant, it just washes away.
or is that just from occasional heavy rain?
The heavy rain.
The heavy rains.
A couple days of rain, you know, from.
Well, I mean, we've been getting heavy rain and then we get nothing, like we haven't had anything now in 3 weeks, and we could have a deluge this weekend, who knows?
Exactly.
And, you know, and I understand that part of it.
So we've got some
But to stabilize the bank or the
Nothing, I don't know what
ground
to
up
do.
above would be
I
very
talked to Mr.
beneficial.
Ferry.
You know, whether it's
2010, he
just
said,
plain
put,
old grass or let trees grow in now, or,
I think this might be a stormwater issue as well. I mean, this is stormwater. So I think it would concern the stormwater committee as well. But let's do a site visit and let's go look, whoever wants to come out. You want to pass those to
Okay.
those guys to look at?
okay, that seem worthwhile, just a visit to try to rectify the problem.
Yeah, I'm not against that.
Okay, all right, Lisa, site visit, now,
right,
do
we need to
you,
schedule one.
need to be home when the site visit occurs?
Yes.
Is someone there during the day?
Like years ago,
She only works during the day.
We tried to arrange it, I'm open to
Yeah.
whatever you're available.
So we could do like a 2:30 in the afternoon possibly? Could we do that?
As long
Okay.
as he'd like to be there as well. It's not.
Okay.
Your dogs are loose. What the hell are you doing?
They're gone.
Yeah, I showed this to
how
Stephanie
would you
and you're gonna get
propose
fined.
to stabilize the bank with that brook? Not possible.
Could be.
It's the only part of the brook that'll be stabilized. If he builds a wall or puts riprap, that would prevent the water running down from washing away the dirt. But that's the only way. There's not, I can't see much that he can do to prevent Mother Nature from doing what it's doing.
Yeah, well,
I see the bill.
we'll have
If
to.
you got a better
Stormwater
idea, I'm
issues in
willing
this
to
area,
listen.
I wish I was.
We'll have to look at it. Without going out there and seeing it, I mean,
Yeah,
you know what I
that's the
mean?
best thing to do.
Yeah. But I think it would be wise if you could plan to, contact the stormwater committee. And we could try to address the issues there as well.
So do you see it like that on occasion? That flooded, the stream comes way up.
Never
Okay.
gone over Main Street till they put them drains in that, solar field. Then it started going over Main Street.
I've been told that.
So you
Did
mean,
that
you mean
cause it,
this,
or just the heavier rains have come? Because we had a few storms in
No, it's
February.
added to it, Jim. When I was all field down there, and before they started excavating, building the houses, building the roads, doing the drains,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know that can cause it, but we also have had some pretty big rainstorms. And I'm just playing the advocate,
and the good news is,
But it's natural.
yeah.
He hasn't altered anything. Mother Nature does the altering. The
Okay.
tank doesn't
Well-
look like it did before because the water's running through there heavier and faster.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Okay, so we're gonna leave it.
the other thing to think about is the town is, in the process of looking at Main Street as a whole, putting sidewalks and catch basins and things in, so it's a good. Right, so, well, it's a good time to bring this up with the Stormwater Committee and Mr. Ferry. He's working with some engineers now, so. But, yeah, let's do a site, whoever's available, I was hoping.
Them out the ice pond, Steve, we'll back some of the water.
I was hoping Dave would be available to do a site visit, so as soon as he's back, I will reach out.
Okay. Okay, all right, we all set then for now?
Can you just come so I can make sure I have your phone number?
Yep.
I know I had it, but I wanna make sure I have it in here. Is it, 508-325?
328.
328. Okay, great. All right. I'll reach out as soon as Dave's back, to go out there with me. He should be back next week or the week after. He just lost his father. Thank you.
At least we're gonna go to 670 Main?
Okay, let's go to 670.
This is on your paper. This is on the one you brought in. Okay, 670 Main Street.
All right. So we received a complaint involving the bank of the same stream and land underwater to Muddy Cove Brook. We sent a letter out March 8th and requested a response. And I did do a site visit on prior. So, did you want to talk about this? I know you made the complaint, and it's on your property.
What's their property, 'cause I read it.
Oh, yeah.
Every page.
I don't know who's gonna talk first.
Well,
I can tell you the story.
okay. You made the complaint, so you tell us the story.
Sure, shoot did, so I don't know who started it. Okay, so what I did, I put it in my book, back in January. I went and looked in the backyard, because I usually go back there, it's nice. Look along the berm, nothing to do with the Elderkins. Okay, nothing to do with that area. Back along the stream and the berm. I see rocks and logs and all kinds of manner of garbage being dropped over the berm down into the stream. I thought, what's that about? So then, I hadn't been there since September, I told you that. So I think it was January when I saw it. So then that was it, and I figured, talk to you about it. You came twice. Right?
Okay,
You
yeah.
came with the health inspector the second,
Yep,
yeah.
I did.
And actually, Tibbetts came first, and then you came second, and then third. But yeah, so I don't know if it's anything against Mr. Arujo. I don't know anything. I don't know who did it.
Working with 700.
It's a mystery, and I'd like to find that out. It's been pristine back there ever since I was a kid. And then seeing all that debris coming down, I'm like, who the heck did that? That whole berm right there, my uncle and father can attest, that's still the property. So I don't know.
Well, I don't know if you want I own that property that he's accusing me of filling in. There is a berm on the edge of my property. I stay left of the berm. I cleaned the field where they used to have a dirt bike track. I took all the brush, it's in the center of the field. I put nothing on the riverbank, but I had people in there dumping from the subdivision.
Oh, I believe it.
Okay, that's what we suspected officially.
And
I didn't
I'm
think it was
upset
you.
about it. I'm just as upset about it
Me
as
too.
you are.
Yeah. I didn't think it was you.
And we talked with Mr. Ferry, and there's a homeowners association there because it's stormwater from the council subdivision.
Right.
Goes through my property, which discharges into the brook. I wanted to put a gate, and this was when I started having problems, and the homeowners association doesn't want it because, so they have access to maintain there's a manhole as soon as the entrance of the cul-de-sac
Oh, yeah.
on Council Oak Way.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty upset about it because I tried to keep it, because I did a plan for restoration on the bank. If you look by the high towers, NRCS, when I bought the property to stop the erosion, I had to stabilize that bank.
Which
That's
is
why
the
it's
same
going up.
bank to the same stream that we're having problems with upstream.
So that high water then that you just showed in the pictures is what's washing it in and then downstream.
Never like that until all the developments were put in.
So there's
I've been there since 1979.
I had someone dump a bunch of rocks, they dumped a bunch of sticks.
Yeah.
That's what we saw.
Well, that's
That's
what we saw.
That big round on the edge, right on the
terrible.
Yeah, we saw
on the bank.
We saw
I didn't think so. A good story, a good thing I want to make a point of. If you folks are starting to suspect that those people who live there, a so-called gentleman came to my house on Monday, February 6th, threatening me physically, calling me out of the middle of the street, all kinds of stuff. You heard from some neighborhood, some neighbor saying, that I sicked you guys on him. I don't think you got near him at all. So that was an interesting experience. On my property, insulting me, calling me all kinds of nasty names, and threatening me, but he managed to walk away unscathed.
Oh, can I make a suggestion? We'll throw this to Lisa, because she's on the stormwater committee. Mr. Ferry, he wants to put the fence of the gate there. I would be gladly to do it. I don't know if you have to meet with the homeowners association, because I think they want keys, or they want limited access, or whatever. I don't know what they want. They
Okay.
weren't keen on it. So if you talk to Mr. Ferry,
Yeah, I think it's maybe a discussion for stormwater. I think it would be, but as far as cleaning up your property, I don't know.
He didn't do it.
What-
You gotta find out who.
Either, yeah,
You ain't Sherlock Holmes.
right.
Okay, so I
Telling
think you gating it, if it's your property,
well, there's access because it's the homeowners association for the stormwater. Because I was on the planning board when that subdivision was approved, and there's a drainage easement through that property, and that was to be maintained by the homeowners association, not by the town.
okay, so if you put pipes,
I have.
block it off, but put cement or columns or pipes and every 18 inches so that people can walk through, but can't ride through.
They need to get, you need to get equipment in, because there's a manhole inside the property, my property, about 50 feet in off of the cul-de-sac,
Okay.
that they have to maintain.
Okay,
What I would like is, if, I know you don't do email, but you could write a letter to the Stormwater Committee, just a quick note, saying you came to the Conservation Commission, and you could send an email to Elizabeth, she runs the Board of Health office with Todd, and say that you came to Conservation and you would like to get on the Stormwater Committee agenda. You too? Do you email?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you go on the Board of Health page, you can get Elizabeth's email and say that you would like, or you could email Nancy Goulat directly. I don't know if she's on that page at all, but, or Todd Pilling, any of those three names, say you wanna get on the Stormwater Committee agenda,
Okay,
all right?
yep.
yeah, 'cause we got 3 different people here that are offended
Same stream.
by the, by somebody. Somebody's.
Sorry to keep you guys so late.
It's just such a mess. It's always been pristine, no nonsense. I look back there, it's a mess.
I know some people don't appreciate the wetlands and
They
they
don't
just
appreciate
think,
private property either.
right, and they just think it's a place to dump their
I went
yard
in there
waste.
one night, well, last spring, there was a stump in there that big, right in the corner by your property. Someone dumped it.
Amazing. Nerve.
Stump Ferry dropped it off tonight, so.
No, I don't
But
believe
the
it.
TNT can't take it.
I mean, they dumped their yard waste in there, and it's.
Right.
that's why I
And
thought
you
it
never
was-
know if there's fertilizers in there, you know,
Or chemicals
It's
from old
unfortunate.
paints and,
A lot of the buckets from sealing the driveway and paint cans we don't use and all that sort of stuff.
So once we find out through stormwater of some kind, because I never thought you did, I never thought you guys did, honest to God. It's a miscommunication, we're opening up a can of worms. I like a peaceful neighborhood. Okay?
No,
So-
I think if we could get the fence, that's gonna help make it.
That would be nice. That'd be excellent.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that'll probably solve the part of the problem, and then maybe a sign that says no dumping.
yeah, that's gonna be,
That's wishful thinking.
Exactly.
I don't know.
The best thing you can do is put a sign up saying under camera surveillance.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what you're gonna notice, but if you put up a sign
Okay.
that says no dumping, they'll.
the video's gonna shut off at 10 o'clock.
Oh,
I mean, I gotta work on it.
all right.
Yeah, I think so.
Now,
They inspect it.
thank you very much. We're gonna move on. We have to move on. We only have 10 minutes.
Our video is gonna be shutting off at 10 o'clock.
We have another item Mr. Rougeau is here for. Good night, thank you. So,
You're the only one left.
we were out doing inspections for Clearway, erosion control inspections and whatnot, and noticed some big piles of dirt piled up, and we wrote a letter so that, at first we thought it was the, what was the name of the company that rents from you?
Beaver Express.
Beaver Express, maybe dumping some fill, some extra fill, but we met with Kenny and Kenny explained to us, but we wanted Kenny to come in and talk to us about it.
Yeah, there's some of the fill that, from the Essex, when we did the rebuild, and then there was, there's one pile there of, that came from Norton when they did the water main on Main Street, which all that fill is going to the solar farm.
Oh, okay.
That's
Which,
all going.
oh, that's going to your solar farm?
That's all going, that's all gonna be out of there. And we had a problem last summer when I was irrigating, my pond was all silted in. When I used to put my firewood, I'm not processing firewood anymore, I used to put it down in that area. So I cleaned the area all up, I didn't fill it in. But the pond is there, it needs to be,
Dredged.
But what we did is we stabilized the bank, because that whole area where that fill is gonna be seeded to grass, because the water that comes down from the driveway and now the rubber dike, that has to be treated before it goes into the pond. So, that's what we're doing, and NRCS is coming out to doing the design, they're not gonna be out till mid-June. So as soon as I get the plan, if you guys want
Yeah.
a copy of it, we'll submit it.
So there's gonna be some restoration, you can call it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so,
And then also,
it's a certified vernal pool, was it?
no,
It-
it was a man-made dug irrigation pond.
But it's considered on the mapping now, it's considered a vernal pool, so that's why I'm mostly concerned. Huh?
You got landlocked salmon in there, right?
A lot of bullfrogs in there.
Well,
There used to be
the
some
bullfrogs will eat everything.
fish. No, that's where we're at, and it'll be, Lisa and I go back a long way. She used to work for me when I was on planning board, so I think she knows I'm not doing something that I shouldn't be.
Right.
But
It's,
you could.
No, I'm not.
Not should.
And then we're also fixing the drainage so Charlie doesn't break his hip again.
oh, yeah. So you think in the next couple months we'll have some sort of restoration plan or something?
Yeah, he will,
Yeah.
they're gonna come out, he said mid-June.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Once they're out, they're really good. Getting them there to the site is the hard part.
Yeah.
Once they're there,
Then they're focused.
yeah, the focus.
They're
a little
still
part,
on-
at least you have a plan.
He hasn't completely retired, or he did retire and turn that over?
Yeah.
Did he?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
You'll also notice, Ken, that I took my blame for my own fault. No suits,
No,
No, nothing.
That's not the point. We're fixing all, I've done my part, Tom.
when you walk on ice, you can expect to fall down, and I walked on ice and I fell down. I had a choice,
Yeah.
snow, no problem, ice, big problem.
Yeah.
Broken hip, 3 years and it's still not fixed.
I'll learn from that.
Oh, I learned a wicked lesson, I'm still learning. Can't, one leg shorter than the other now. They were both perfect. I could put, but it's the way it goes.
All
You
right.
make a mistake and you pay for it, and I did.
So, that's all gonna be rectified and, like I said,
Okay. Lisa, we have one more here?
Great, that's good. Nope, and then we do have,
Scotch tape.
we have two more items I want to address. The other ones aren't real, there's no real updates. Good night, drive careful.
Thank you.
You get 7 minutes.
1940 County Street, 508 Customs. This is 508 Customs. They had done the work
Yes.
without any conservation or planning board approvals. I finally got word from Mr. Drake, because I'd been working with him on this, that they hired him to flag the wetlands and hopefully file the notice of intent. So that will be forthcoming to us. I wanted to let you guys know. And then we have 176 Cobb's Lane, map 17, lot 12. There was a complaint received regarding potential violation. I took a drive-by on March 13th and April 3rd. Mr. Phillips took a couple drives by on the weekend. I think Jim took a drive-by.
I've gone by there
Yeah,
twice.
the only thing I saw was some cut tree, cut firewood or wood that wasn't quite firewood yet, in the driveway. But the complaint that was made to me was that they were cutting with a machete, and then they were cutting the wetlands. And I took drive-by. I don't know what we want to do about it, but I couldn't see anything.
I don't think we should do anything, because he could have been picking up wood on the side of the road that was cut by Tom and putting it in his driveway for the sake of burning. I mean, I saw nothing, Dave saw nothing, you saw nothing. I don't know if they're idle complaints. I think we got one more to talk about.
Okay.
County Street, which, let me see.
1940, we just talked about, we didn't finish talking about it. 1940, I was visited by the owner, by the way, and it was really kind of
This is 2371?
no, this is 1940 County Street, 508 Customs. Although
no.
I did find out yesterday that they did hire Outback.
Oh, no,
I
I'm sorry,
did
I'm
get-
on the wrong, Cedar Street is what I meant to go after.
Okay.
Finding is going to commence Monday?
Oh, now we skipped over that. I did want to finish talking about County Street.
Okay, go ahead.
I was visited by the owner, and he took the letter we had agreed to write at our last meeting. We sent the letter on March 23rd. He came in with the letter and slammed it down on my desk and said, "What the hell is this?" and really made me upset. He was followed by the building inspector, and I told him it was a letter that we were decided to write because we hadn't received an update from him. It had been a few months. He said, "Oh no, I emailed you," but he really hadn't. He had emailed Kerry. He thought he had emailed me, I guess, but he hadn't. So in any case, I let him know that, we needed to know that he was going to comply with the Wetlands Protection Act and the local bylaw, and that he did have to file, and because it's a commercial site, he is going to have to have them look at the stormwater and be in compliance with stormwater when it comes to the Wetlands Protection Act. So hopefully I explained that pretty well enough where now he did hire someone. But, after the fact, I did think it was, it was a little it was a visit that I didn't appreciate.
3 minutes.
Anyways, and then you wanted to talk about 1566, so we're back at 1566
Okay.
Cedar, no response.
We voted at the last meeting to commence finding if there was no activity by this meeting. And so our vote was to start finding on beginning Monday, the $300 a day for non-compliance, for ignoring our requests. Now, what we don't know is, do we just tell him it's $300 a day and then give a letter to the assessor's office so that they can be aware that he owes the town money? Well, either or, it's either or.
Should a copy go to the treasurer's office?
Our bylaw allows fining by the commission for problems with our bylaws. And this guy is ignoring our bylaws.
By statute, you have the right to fine.
Yes, we do.
Yes, it's in our bylaw, but okay, so we would have to notify the assessor's office so that if he goes to sell the property,
1 minute.
if he goes to sell the property, there's an additional fees that we would like to collect.
So we will CC them.
I can investigate that
Yeah.
and follow up with
And
you.
my-
Okay, very good, thank you.
My big question is, should I give an initial? Should I do it weekly? I'm not here every day,
No.
so how are we doing this?
How about weekly and just say your fines have accumulated, the assessor's office has so notified and go
After
from,
the week, though.
what?
You can't fine them for the week coming.
No, after a week. At the end of the week, your fines have accumulated to this, as of this date, your fines have accumulated.
So on Monday, on the following Monday, a week from the
Every the 31st.
okay, so on the 31st, I would say we've accumulated, it's been a week's worth of fines per,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's $2,100.
The first one I issue is 2,100.
And then you say, this letter has also been sent to the assessor's office for, so if he goes to sell the house, it goes with it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I don't think there's any.
I think we're all set. Is there a motion
I
to?
think we're all set.
Make a motion to adjourn at 10 o'clock, 10:01, actually. Thank you.
All in, second to the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Charlie, the meeting minutes, page 3, I can't find them.